and I'd have left.
Coming up next on Live and Breaking, Congress questions the timing of Vice President of India's resignation, says it is prompted by the BJP.
आधे बाउल दही में 4 चम्मच MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला डाला, स्टर करो, पुदीना चटनी तैयार। MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला।
U.S. President Donald Trump makes a big statement on Iran after Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi admits serious damage to Iran's nuclear facilities. He wrote, Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi, on the Iran nuclear sites, damages are very severe. They are destroyed. Of course they are, just like I said, and we will do it again if necessary. As interviewed by Brett Baer, fake news CNN should immediately fire their phony reporter and apologize to me and the great pilots who obliterated Iran's nuclear sites. CNN is a major ratings loser, as is MSDNC. He reiterated claims of having obliterated Iran's nuclear sites. He even reasserted that the U.S. will not walk away from attacking Iran if they deem it to be necessary.
A short time ago, the U.S. military carried out massive precision strikes on the 3 key nuclear facilities in the Iranian regime: Fordow, Natanz, and Esfahan. Everybody heard those names for years as they built this horribly destructive enterprise. Our objective was the destruction of Iran's nuclear enrichment capacity and a stop to the nuclear threat posed by the world's #1 state sponsor of terror. Tonight, I can report to the world that the strikes were a spectacular.
दादी के हाथों का जादू और खुशबू से महकता घर, माँ की मुस्कुराहट और खाने की सुगंध। MDH गरम मसाला,
क्योंकि हर रिश्ता है स्वाद से जुड़ा। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
U.S. President Donald Trump makes a big statement on Iran after Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi admits serious damage to Iran's nuclear facilities. He wrote, Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi, on the Iran nuclear sites, damages are very severe. They are destroyed. Of course they are, just like I said, and we will do it again if necessary. As interviewed
from Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
You're watching Republic TV with me, Akanksha Khajuria. There's a massive uproar over the resignation of the Vice President, Jagdeep Dhankar. That resignation has been accepted by the President of the country. And in fact, the Prime Minister has wished him good health. We'll get you more updates on this. But first, as always, the headlines. First batch of Apache attack helicopters have reached the country. The choppers will be deployed in Jodhpur. President of India accepts Jagdeep Dhankar's resignation. Dhankar wrote to the President last night stating health issues. Prime Minister tweets on the resignation, wishes him good health and says Dhankar got many opportunities to serve the nation. Congress is speculating. They have questioned the timing of the exit of the former vice president. Opposition creates ruckus in the parliament as well. Congress and the opposition parties are raking up Bihar voter list revision matter in the parliament, likely to protest against that in parliament today. Big win for Yogi government. Top court directs all the hotel owners along the Kavod Yatra route to display license and registration certificate. F-35B fighter jet flies out to Australia after being stranded in India for nearly a month. Another case of hooliganism has come to the fore in Maharashtra. Shiv Sena workers threaten a woman for not speaking Marathi language. Today is day 2 of the monsoon session of the parliament, and we have a breaking news update coming in from the parliament. Rajya Sabha BAC, which is the Business Advisory Committee, will be deciding on the timings of the discussion on Operation Sindoor. In fact, this meeting is all set to take place at 5:30 p.m. is what we are learning today. And Deputy Chairman too will be in fact convening this BAC meeting. Remember, yesterday this meeting was convened by Jagdeep Dhankar, who has resigned as Vice President of the country, and now this BAC meeting, a very crucial meeting that will be deciding on the legislative agenda, will take place at 5:30 today. And very importantly, this meeting will decide on the timing of the discussion on Operation Sindoor. Remember, yesterday on the day first of the parliament, the news came in that Operation Sindoor will be discussed in the parliament next week, because this week Prime Minister will not be in the country. So this discussion will take place next week. What will be the timings, how long the discussion will be, is something that will be decided in this BAC meeting that is all set to start at 5:30 in the parliament today. All right, so this crucial meeting will take place in the parliament today. BAC will decide on the legislative agenda, but most importantly, they will decide on the timing of the discussion on Operation Sindoor, something that opposition parties want the government to discuss. Let me go across to my colleague Harsha, who's been tracking this story very closely. Harsha, tell us about what is slated to be discussed in this crucial meeting at 5:30, because we're learning that the timing of the discussion of Operation Sindoor might be discussed in this. Give us more details.
Yes, Akanksha. So the Business Advisory Committee meeting of Rajya Sabha will be convened by Deputy Chairman, and it will be now at 5:30 p.m. Earlier it was scheduled at 1 o'clock, but now the timings have been changed. As we already know, in Lok Sabha, the Operation Sindoor discussion timings have already been allotted, which is almost 16 hours. But in Rajya Sabha, it couldn't be decided yesterday because there was no consensus. Twice the meeting happened yesterday of the Rajya Sabha. Of the Rajya Sabha, as we very well know, at around 1 o'clock first the meeting took place. Then at around 4:30 p.m. the meeting took place, and in the yesterday's meeting as well, all the members of the parliament stated that there was no consensus. Also, JP Nadda and Kiran Rijiju were not present at the 4:30 p.m. meeting yesterday. So today again the meeting at 5:30 p.m. will be convened by Deputy Chairman, and likely today the final consensus will be reached out by all the members of parliament, where the timings of the Operation Sindoor will be decided, that how much timing will be allotted for the Rajya Sabha member of parliament to discuss on Pahalgam and Operation Sindoor, because already the timings of the other bills have already been discussed. About the income tax bill, the Port and the Manipur bill, timings have already been decided. Now it's Operation Sindoor, which the discussion is very important, because the opposition was since day one speaking about the discussion and debate on Operation Sindoor and Pahalgam. So finally, Rajya Sabha timings will also be likely decided today at around 5:30 p.m. when the meeting will take place. Back to you.
Absolutely, Harsha. Thank you for all the details. Let me also bring in Soumya, who's reporting live from the parliament. Soumya, so tell us about the discussion on Operation Sindoor. Remember, the central government said that they are willing to discuss all the issues, including Operation Sindoor. So in Lok Sabha, that discussion will take place for 16 hours next week. What are you learning about as far as Rajya Sabha is concerned?
Yes, well, Akanksha, see, it was made very clear by our Parliamentary Affairs Minister Kiren Rijiju on Sunday when the all-party meeting took place, wherein the agendas of the ongoing monsoon sessions were discussed, and wherein all the MPs and all the leaders of the opposition parties raised that they want to have a discussion on various issues. One of the three major issues were related to Operation Sindhu, the Pahalgam attack, which raised questions around the security, the national security, and also the foreign policy, because we saw over the months how President Trump took a claim of brokering the ceasefire between India and Pakistan on 10th of May, when the ceasefire agreement was reached between the two countries, post the escalation that lasted for 4 days. So now, it was made very clear by Kiren Rijiju, the Parliamentary Affairs Minister, that they are up for any sort of discussion which is of utmost national interest. They are not going to shy away from these discussions. However, at the end of the day, they have to understand. By he meant that the opposition parties, the MPs and the leaders have to understand the discussion will only flow in a better manner and will only happen once these are done within the laws, the rules and the conventions. So the NDA leaders, the MPs have reiterated this position with regards to discussion inside the parliament. So yesterday we saw post the BAC meetings how there was a consensus that was reached upon the discussion on inside Lok Sabha with regards to Operation Sindoor, how it will go on for 16 hours and next week. However, as correctly mentioned by my colleague Harsha few minutes back, that no such consensus was reached with regards to discussions on Operation Sindoor and Pahalgam attack, with regards to discussions inside the upper house, the Rajya Sabha. So for that very reason, the BAC, which is slated to take place later in the evening at 5:30 p.m., in that meeting it will be again discussed with regards to when should the discussion happen, how many hours will be allocated to this discussion. So we'll have to wait and watch as to what comes out, what pans out post 5:30 p.m. Later today. An important point to note here is that in this meeting today, the Deputy Chairperson Harivansh Narayan Singh will be convening this particular BAC meeting now that VP Jagdeep Dhankar has resigned, has given his resignation yesterday. However, yesterday both the BAC meetings were convened by Jagdeep Dhankar himself. Now, post his resignation, it will be convened by the Deputy Chairperson of the Upper House.
Absolutely. So all eyes will be on this crucial BAC meeting that will take place at 5:30 to decide on the timeline of when the Operation Sindoor will be discussed. In fact, both of you stay on with us. There's a massive uproar in the parliament over the resignation of Jagdeep Dhankar as the vice president. Now that resignation has been accepted by the president of the country. In fact, remember, he had cited health issues as the reason for vacating the constitutional post. But now the opposition parties are not satisfied with the reason. They claim that there is more to this sudden resignation than meets the eye. Congress has called Dhankar's resignation shocking and unexpected. In fact, Congress leader Jairam Ramesh has questioned the official explanation behind Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar's sudden resignation, hinting at a deeper political undercurrents. He has, in fact, issued this statement as far as the resignation is concerned. We are also getting in exclusive responses after the resignation by Jagdeep Dhankar, which has now been accepted by the president. Listen in.
Chaudhary, what's your response to VP's resignation as Congress continuously stating that there is more that meets the eye?
अक्लमंद को इशारा काफी है। देश भर समझ रहे हैं कि क्या नाटक चल रही है भाजपा में, ये नाटक चलते रहेगी। तो फिर हमने अब ये वायरस, जो अजीब वायरस फैल रही है भाजपा में, इसमें कई पेशेंट अब प्रवेश हो जाएंगे, आप देखते रहिए।
But as Jairam Ramesh is stating, why Congress believes that something happened between 4:30 p.m. Because JP Nadda responded that he informed Vice President about his skipping the BAC meeting.
I don't know. Jairam Rameshji may have better knowledge about all this. I am not in the know of all this.
But Congress and other opposition parties will be raising this issue in the parliament today?
Well, let's see what's going to happen, because there's something weird going on. So let's check it.
What weird? Ma'am, you're again stating that there's something weird. What look like?
The House notification that Parliament will come into session has been given to members of Parliament and the whole country more than 25 days ago. Everything was fine. Suddenly overnight, yesterday the session started. That was also fine. And suddenly by evening there is a crisis and you have the Prime Minister travelling outside the country. Today the country has no Vice President. We are headless in so many ways.
बहुत अचानक है, बहुत दुर्भाग्यपूर्ण है। हम तो उनके अच्छे स्वास्थ्य की कामना करते हैं, लेकिन आपने देखा होगा कि सारे विपक्षी दलों के नेताओं ने अपनी चिंता व्यक्त की है, लेकिन केंद्र सरकार की तरफ से किसी मंत्री ने, प्रधानमंत्री जी ने अपना कोई बयान नहीं रखा। तो सवाल ये उठता है कि क्या केंद्र सरकार के पास पहले से जानकारी नहीं थी, क्या पहले से ये सूचना नहीं थी कि उपराष्ट्रपति के मन में ये बात झलक रही है? और अगर नहीं थी तो ऐसा रिश्ता जो एक समय पे हमें लगता था कि बहुत संतुलित रिश्ता था, आज रिश्ता में इतना बदलाव क्यों? क्योंकि कल भी हमने देखा कि उपराष्ट्रपति की एक बैठक में केंद्र सरकार के मंत्री अनुपस्थित थे। तो मुझे ये चिंता का समय लगता है और केंद्र सरकार को देश को स्पष्टीकरण देना अनिवार्य है कि वो देश को किस प्रकार से आगे लेके जाएंगे।
देखिए, पूरा दिन आप काम कर रहे हैं, पूरा दिन आप बैठ करके वर्क कर रहे हैं और सबसे मिल भी रहे हैं और सदन सुचारू रूप से चला रहे हैं और अचानक आप एकदम इस्तीफा देते हैं, तो इसके पीछे कोई ना कोई कारण है, कुछ तो राज है जिसके पर्दादारी है।
तो आप लोग क्या ये कह रहे हैं, तमाम विपक्षी पार्टियां, कि आप लोग इस मुद्दे को क्या सदन में उठाने वाले हैं? क्योंकि जिस तरह से आप लोग के लगातार ट्वीट देखने को मिल रहे हैं, लग रहा है कि आप लोग को ये बात हजम नहीं हो रही है कि वो स्वास्थ्य कारणों से उन्होंने इस्तीफा दिया है।
देखिए, स्वास्थ्य कारणों से इस्तीफा होता तो कोई ना कोई स्वास्थ्य का कारण दिखाई देता। आप स्वस्थ तरीके से काम कर रहे हैं, आपके शेड्यूल प्रोग्राम लगे हुए हैं, कोई ना कोई बात है जिससे आप इतना हाथ हुए कि आपको इस्तीफा तक देना पड़ गया।
तो सदन में ऐसा क्या हुआ जो आपको लगता है कि जिसकी वजह से ऐसा निर्णय लिया, या फिर वाकई में कुछ है?
मैं उस सदन का मेंबर नहीं हूँ, लेकिन कुछ ना कुछ तो है।
Yes, everybody was very shocked and taken aback. No one saw this coming, and I don't know what compulsions or what reasons, but I wish him all the best for good health, and that is our primary focus, as he said, that for health reasons he's resigning. I hope there is nothing that serious about it, and we wish him good health.
What does Akali Dal feel about it? Because everyone is stating that VP looked better yesterday. He convened Raj Sabha. BSc meeting was also convened by him. Are you also of the opinion of the same, what opposition party leaders are mostly stating?
I don't know what opposition parties are saying. I have not had an opportunity to meet him, so I cannot comment on it. I can just go by the letter and what is in the social media, and I can just say that we are very shocked and saddened, whatever happened, and we pray for his good health.
Let me once again bring in my colleague Soumya, who's reporting live from the Parliament. Soumya, so there's chorus amid the opposition parties. They are saying that this has come as a surprise. This is a shocking exit by Jagdeep Dhankar. What are your sources in the opposition party? In fact, Soumya, stay on with us. We have a breaking news coming in as far as MiG 21 is concerned. After providing more than 60 years of service, what we are learning is that the MiG-21 fighter jet is all set to retire, and a formal ceremony, a send-off has been planned for September, according to, in fact, several reports that have come to the fore. The last batch of the aircraft belonging to 23 Squadron will be decommissioned at the ceremony that will take place in Chandigarh in September 19th, and the MiG-21 leaves behind a mixed legacy. It was India's first supersonic jet, granting a technological edge in 1960s and 1970s, but it later became quite infamous for the frequent accidents, earning nicknames such as the flying coffin. Now, what we're learning is that India's longest serving fighter jet, the MiG-21, is all set to retire. All right, let me go across to my colleague Gursimran, who's been tracking this story. Gursimran, tell us more about the MiG-21 fighter jet. We are learning that there will be a formal ceremony to bid it goodbye in September in Chandigarh. What more details do you have?
Yes, on 19 September 2025 from Chandigarh, there will be a farewell that will be given to the MiG-21, which was once considered as the game changer for the Indian Armed Forces, starting from the 1965 war with Pakistan to 1971 when we saw the rise of Bangladesh taking place, to 1999 Kargil war, and also the Balakot airstrikes that the Indian forces carried out at the terror infrastructure of the Pakistan. In the Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir, MiG-21 has played a very pivotal role. And even during the Operation Sindoor, it was all on the toes that if needed, it will deliver what it is actually supposed to. Because being the first supersonic jet of the Indian Armed Forces, it has proved its mettle over time. But yes, the fatalities that we have seen during the MiG-21 crashes that have taken place over the time, and often it was referred to as the flying coffin for the Indian Armed Forces, the armed force personnel that are operating the MiG-21. But now the 23rd Squadron, known as the Panther Squadron, that will be retiring, officially bidding a farewell to the Indian Armed Forces on 19th of September, when an official farewell will take place at Chandigarh. See, it is also that earlier we were speaking that as the country moves ahead when it comes to the forward procurements, now those old fleets that have gone through multiple variations over the time, they are now coming to an end, and it was a long pending demand from various quarters that it is a high time, because it's been roughly more than 6 decades time that the MiG-21 has been operational. Now it's the high time to retire it before it actually costs more life to the Indian Armed Forces, to more brave hearts of the country. And now in the month of September, it will be given a farewell. But yes, it has a history starting from the 1965 to its active operations in 2019, when the airstrike was carried out at Balakot terror bases by the Indian Armed Forces.
Absolutely, Gursimran. Stay on with us. Let me go across to Pranav, who joins me live from newsroom. Pranav, we're learning that after serving the nation for 60 years, now MiG-21 are all set to retire in September in Chandigarh. In fact, that is when it will be a bit goodbye. Tell us more about the history and how it has served the nation in the last 60 years.
The Indian Air Force had actually inducted the MiG-21s in the 60s, in 1963 in fact. So they've been one of the oldest platforms that have been in service in the Indian Air Force. At least, I mean, over the years, while they have participated in most of the exercises and combat operations, over the recent past, in fact, between 2010 to 13, there were 14 MiG-21 crashes. So, there was a time when MiG-21s actually attained the term of flying coffins. So, it's actually an opportune moment for them to get retired. There have been several upgrades, though, but still, the identity that they gained was that of a flying coffin. So, it's probably a high time that the Indian Air Force is retiring them. And they will, of course, be replaced with the incoming aircraft, such as the Rafales and the Tejas.
Absolutely. Pranav, also tell us about how it was used during Balakot strike. As you also mentioned, it was called flying coffin because of spate of incidents that had come to the fore. Could you tell us about these incidents in the last few years?
Could you just repeat the question?
Pranav, as you rightly said, that this was called as the flying coffin because of the spate of incidents that have come to the fore. Could you walk us through those incidents that led to it being named as flying coffin?
Yes, actually, there were a number of crashes that took place. There were, in fact, certain organizations that were created. In fact, widows of pilots who had lost their lives in MiG-21 crashes had, in fact, made a case to the defense ministers. Subsequent, 2 or 3 defense ministers during different terms, were given with these representations. So that these crashes are the ones that led. As I said, between 2010 and 13 alone, that is just before this government took over, in fact, there were 14 MiG-21 crashes. So that's one of the reasons which led to them being labeled as flying coffins.
Absolutely. So after serving the nation for close to 60 years, now it is all set to retire. Thank you so much, Pranav and Gursimran, for giving us all those details. Now, shifting our focus, the Amarnath Yatra is in full swing amid the heightened security in Jammu and Kashmir, and multiple agencies, including the JK Police, the CRPF, ITBP, Army and the Shrine Board are operating together under one roof, ensuring seamless communication and quick response. Our colleague Zeenat Faisal brings us the report from the ground.
As we are covering the Amarnath Yatra, and this is from the Baltal Access. This is one of the shortest routes when you take route to Amarnath cave. In fact, I'm here at the surveillance room, and this is one such room where you get the real-time information about the people who are in your surroundings, the people who are taking care of your security, the people who are moving towards the Amarnath cave, and those who are doing the darshan. As per Jammu and Kashmir Police, the screens have been divided into 12 parts. Then in each screen you see different kind of figures, and there you have a numbering that tells you that where exactly a help has to go, whether a person who is in the surrounding, if at all he comes with an international history, he is an OGW or trying to create a disruption, he will be immediately, the police will be immediately alerted, because the facial recognition system has been installed where you have the images of around more than 3 lakh people. So if any person who is in the, who's a history cheater, the siren will blow, it will alert that he will be detained immediately. Then you see the people with the backpacks, they go inside these tents because most of them are yatris, but still if there any suspicious movement is observed, again an alert will be sounded. Then you see the tracks, the buses, in case any person tries to do some hanky-panky with any of the bus that has been stationed, because this is showing you, giving a full view of the bus yard where the travelers, they are using these bus because they are the registered yatri. So everything gets monitored, and even the darshan, the people who are doing the darshan, doing the puja, the real time is their visual can be seen, and if at all there is an untoward incident, immediately a response, immediately a help will be sent. So that also tells you how the security of the yatris, the locals, and even the poniwalas or these palkiwalas who are the service providers of this entire yatra, which will culminate on the 9th of August. So all kind of help, all kind of monitoring is taking place from this very place. With
Bharat 1 Minute brought to you by Canara Bank. Together we can. UK's F-35B fighter jet, which made an emergency landing at the international airport over a month back, takes off to Australia today after 38 days in the country. Known to be one of the most advanced fighter aircraft in the world and worth over $110 million, the jet remained grounded at the international airport in Kerala since June 14th after it developed a technical snag. The Uttarakhand police shot and injured a cow smuggler during the encounter in Udham Singh Nagar. One of the cow smuggler was shot in the leg by the police officials and arrested from the spot. The opposition MLA staged massive protests outside the Bihar Vidhan Sabha in Patna against the Election Commission's special intensive revision ahead of the Bihar Assembly elections. The Bihar Assembly Speaker slammed the opposition parties, saying that the opposition MLAs only want to create ruckus and people of the state are witnessing their tactics. Well, we have a breaking news coming in from the Parliament. Today is day 2 of the monsoon session of the Parliament, and look at the visuals. The Parliament was in fact dominated by debates over the voter list revision in the state of Bihar. The opposition parties have expressed strong opposition, viewing the exercise as a threat to democratic rights, and they have submitted adjournment notices as well. They've also held a protest inside the Assembly. Watch this.
That opposition leaders are protesting here. Rahul Gandhi, Priyanka Gandhi, DMK leaders, Akhilesh Yadav himself, all of them are in the attendance here at Makar Dwar, at the stairs of Makar Dwar. All the MPs have the placard in their hand on the special intensive revision which is happening by Election Commission of India in the state of Bihar before assembly election. All the MPs here are demanding that SIR should not happen. They are holding the placard stating quit SIR. And they also have been stating that continuously the voter's name is being cut out. The voter's name is being cut out from the Bihar voter list. There are many voters whose name has been cut out, and they're also raising a lot of questions on it. We see that continuously how many members of parliament are here. This is the Makar Dwar of the parliament, and it is the outside Makar Dwar after the Lok Sabha and Raj Sabha, both houses of the parliament got adjourned. This protest is right now taking place against Election Commission of India. Harsha Chandwani reporting for Republic TV from Parliament. the opposition leaders who are standing at the stairs of Makar Dwar now protesting against the government. As we show you in the visuals, these are the visuals where we clearly see that how opposition leaders are right now protesting with the placards in their hand. Now these are the visuals from the Makar Dwar of the parliament. The protest which was earlier supposed to happen at around 10 o'clock in the morning now is being done at Makar Dwar of the parliament after the both houses of the parliament, Lok Sabha and Raj Sabha, got adjourned. The placard clearly states SIR, which is the special intensive revision being done by Election Commission of India in Bihar. So all the opposition leaders have now raised the issue of special investigation revision and the voting issue in Bihar, and this is the major issue. As we see, all the opposition parties from Congress, from Samajwadi Party, RJD, DMK, all the opposition parties leaders including the Aam Aadmi parties, right now all the MPs are standing at the Makar Dwar of the parliament with placards in their hand, demanding that there should be unbiased voting revision in the state of Bihar ahead of the elections in Bihar, and they're stating that special intensive revision is completely biased and voters' name is being cut out from the Bihar list.
And with this, we're taking a very short break. Coming up on the other side, President of India has accepted Jagdeep Dhankar's resignation. Dhankar wrote to the President last night stating the medical issues. Big win for Yogi government. Top court has directed all the hotel owners along the Kawad Yatra route to display license and registration plates. This and much more on the other side. Stay with us.
MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल, ये रंग दे, ये खुशबू दे, ये तीखा, ये कम पड़े, क्या निराला MDH मसाला.
U.S. President Donald Trump makes a big statement on Iran after Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi admits serious damage to Iran's nuclear facilities. He wrote, Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi, on the Iran nuclear sites, damages are very severe. They are destroyed. Of course they are, just like I said, and we will do it again if necessary. As interviewed by Brett Baer, fake news CNN should immediately fire their phony reporter and apologize to me and the great pilots who obliterated Iran's nuclear sites. CNN is a major ratings loser, as is MSDNC. He reiterated claims of having obliterated Iran's nuclear sites. He even reasserted that the U.S. will not walk away from attacking Iran if they deem it to be necessary.
A short time ago, the U.S. military carried out massive precision strikes on the three key nuclear facilities in the Iranian regime: Fordow, Natanz, and Esfahan. Everybody heard those names for years as they built this horribly destructive enterprise. Our objective was the destruction of Iran's nuclear enrichment.
Top headlines at 1:30 p.m. on Tuesday afternoon. First batch of Apache attack helicopters reaches India. Choppers to be deployed in Jodhpur. Indian Air Force to retire MiG-21 fighter jets this September after over 60 years in service. President of India accepts Dhankar's resignation. The ex-Vice President wrote to President last night. Prime Minister Modi tweets on Jagdeep Dhankar's resignation, wishes him good health and says he got many opportunities to serve the nation. Big win for Yogi government. Top court directs all hotel owners along Kawad Yatra route to display license registration certificate. British Royal Navy's F-35B fighter flies out to Australia after being stranded for nearly a month at Kerala's Thiruvananthapuram airport. Starting this edition with breaking news that's coming in, Air India has given a statement on the completion of the fuel control switch inspection. Remember, this concern was generated after the AAIB's report on the AI-171 crash that had flagged the fuel switch control issue. There were many Western media that had casted a doubt on Indian pilots. Air India has now given out a complete statement on the completion of fuel switch control inspections. They said that Air India has completed precautionary inspections on the locking mechanism of fuel control switch, that is the FCS, on all Boeing 787 and Boeing 737 aircraft in its fleet. In the inspections, no issues were found with the said locking mechanism. Air India has started voluntary inspections on July 12 and completed them within the prescribed time limit that was set by the DGCA. The same has been communicated to the regulator. This is the complete statement of Air India. In fact, the statement was issued just 10 minutes back. Air India saying that in the inspections, no issues were found with the said locking mechanism. Air India had started voluntary inspections on July 12 and completed them within the prescribed limit set by the DGCA. The same has been communicated to the regulator. Air India also says that it remains committed to the safety of the passengers and the crew members. On that note, I am being joined by Group Captain GP Vajpayee, an aviation expert. Group Captain, thank you very much for speaking to Republic on this. Air India giving itself a clean sheet, saying that it has completed the mechanism, the fuel control switch mechanism. The issue was raised after the AAIB's report. What are your first comments on that?
Madam, good afternoon to you and to millions of your viewers. As far as on this particular point, I am in agreement with the inspection done by Air India. As such, the AIIB has not casted any doubt on the serviceability of fuel control switch. The report was very clear. In fact, the subject fuel cutoff switch was operated on ill-fated aircraft 3 times. First, one engine was started on the ground. Second, one it is thought that it is through manual intervention that the fuel cutoff switch transition that took place from run to cutoff position, and subsequently during the relight attempt, again these switches were moved from the cutoff position to run position. All 3 times it has operated perfectly all right, and during the debris recovery also, the fuel cutoff switch was found in the run position. That's the one point. Second point, as this fuel cutoff switch is a mechanical toggle switch which moves from the cutoff to run position by lifting it and leaving it in the well, and then it remains over there. It is quite unlikely that it will move of its own. Yes, in the past, in one of the 737 MAX, this incident had taken place. But to best of my appreciation of the prelim report, the switch was not at all, the failure of the switch was not at all the cause of the accident took place on AI-171.
Right. So one more question that I want to ask you right now is, don't you think the inspection comes too little and too late as an action? Air India should have done that much earlier, and the fatal crash that happened in Ahmedabad could have been avoided. All right. I request Group Captain GB Bajpayee to please stay with me, because I'm also being joined by Minu Wadia. He's also an aviation expert, also a former Air India captain. Minu Wadia, what do you think about the inspection that Air India says is now completed? They say that no faults have been found and the thorough checks of Boeing 787 and 737 have been done. But don't you think this action comes too little, too late, and after the fatal crash had already happened?
Yes, sir. It is fine if the checks have been done as mandated by DGCA. But you should remember that this was never the cause of the accident to start with. So to be cautious and do the checks is a perfectly fine thing. But the switches positions or the problem. The stick was never the doubt in any case earlier also. So the crash is totally independent of the checks which have actually happened.
Right. Sir, agreed on the point that this was never the point of contention as far as the crash is concerned, but it did raise several eyebrows, because if you talk about the Western media, it did raise several questions as far as the Indian pilots are concerned, because the AAIB report had highlighted the cause as one of the fuel switch could have been one of the cause. The AAIB report had said that there was a conversation between the pilots. It remained a cause of concern. The whole world was talking about that, and the AAIB and the DGCA have to come clear on that note. With that, I would like to thank both my guests, and moving on to some other stories that we're tracking. This one from the state of Maharashtra, where Maharashtra Agriculture Minister, after he was found in a rummy row, he has now said that he is willing to take legal action against the opposition leaders who defamed him by sharing a video claiming he was playing a game of rummy on his mobile phone inside the assembly. The NCP leader has asserted that he does not even know how to play online rummy, and he said that he will write to Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis and Legislative Council person Ram Shinde to investigate the video. The Maharashtra Agriculture Minister, after being caught on camera allegedly playing online games, rummy in this case, on his phone inside the assembly, Maharashtra Assembly, who was then caught off guard, today has been seen defending his action, saying that he is being falsely labelled. His actions are being falsely labelled by those of the opposition. Listen into what he had to say.
निकला तो मैं खुद होके मुख्यमंत्री के पास नहीं, उप मुख्यमंत्री के पास नहीं, डायरेक्ट राज्यपाल के पास में जाके राजीनामा दे दूंगा। मेरा नाता है ही नहीं, मेरा अकाउंट ओपन है, मेरा मोबाइल नंबर है आपके पास में, यू कैन वेरीफाई। जो भी इंक्वायरी ऑफिसर होगा मैं उसको सप्लाई पूरा दे दूंगा उसके पास में, पूरा ब्यौरा मेरे पास जितना है, उतना जिनको लगेगा इंक्वायरी के लिए उतना सब मैं अवेलेबल कर दूंगा। वो कोई ना कोई षड्यंत्र है, और वो षड्यंत्र वो ढूंढना है, इसलिए मैं इंक्वायरी की मांग कर रहा हूँ। जो पॉलिटिकल लीडर मेरे खिलाफ में महाराष्ट्र में मेरी बदनामी कर रहे हैं, सारे पॉलिटिकल लीडर को मैं कोर्ट में खींचूंगा, अब्रू नुकसान का दावा लगाऊंगा, उसके बाद में उनके ऊपर कार्रवाई होगी।
All right, moving on to some other breaking news that's coming in. The Supreme Court has directed all hotel owners along the Kawar Yatra route to display license registration certificate. The Supreme Court has instructed dhaba and restaurant owners along the Kawar Yatra route to adhere to Uttar Pradesh's mandate of displaying license and registration information. This directive, remember, follows a petition that argued that QR code requirements revealing owner identities could lead to discriminatory profiling. The QR code controversy is back in focus yet again. And remember this, the directive of the Supreme Court comes on the Kawar Yatra. Today, being the last day of the Kawar Yatra, is a big vindication for the Yogi government, where the Supreme Court has now given the verdict in favor of the Yogi government. The Supreme Court has directed all hotel owners along the Kawar Yatra route to comply with statutory licensing and registration requirements. Aditya is joining us live on the broadcast on that. Aditya, talk to us about what were the arguments that were placed inside the Supreme Court as far as this QR code controversy is concerned.
Today in the Supreme Court has directed the vendors to comply by the statutory requirements of having license or mandates regarding certificate. Now, the basic argument was around twofold. The first, they argued that a similar petition was filed a year ago, which has some remedy been granted by the Supreme Court after writ petition challenging the QR code mandate last year. And the second was regarding, as the matter is already being heard yesterday by the Supreme Court, the same matter should be clubbed, or they should not be entertained unless and until the main petition, which has been heard yesterday by the Supreme Court, is dismissed. Today, the Supreme Court, while declining to grant any stay on the QR code, has mandated. The point is that today's Supreme Court order has not filled any legislative void or has not issued any new direction, but has actually enforced a law, a central act, which has been passed, which has been enforced, and which has been enforceable in the rule of law. today in the Supreme Court, the other argument was made as the petitioner, that three petitioners, the one was the professor from Kolkata, the second was the MP from Bengal, and the third was the NGO. Now the state has argued that we have not seen a single petition coming in from hundreds of people who were on the road, but actually coming in from the people who have no standing in the court of law.
Absolutely.
So today the argument.
Yes, all right. We seem to have lost that line with Aditya, but for now we move on to the other big stories that we are tracking. This one again is from the state of Maharashtra. In a shocking incident, women workers of the Shiv Sena UBD faction threatened a Hindi-speaking woman and forced her to apologize publicly for not speaking in Marathi. The confrontation escalated after the woman, who was being pressured to speak in Marathi, asserted that she would continue speaking in Hindi, stating that she does not know how to speak in Marathi. This is yet again another incident of hooliganism over the language row in the state of Maharashtra. First up, listen in to what actually happened.
मराठीत बोलणार मराठी बोलणार मी मराठी शिकणार जय महाराष्ट्र बोल हात जोडून बोल जय महाराष्ट्र जोरात बोल नहीं तो बिहार भेज देंगे भाई तेरे को के लिए मला माफ कर मला माफ तेरा धंदा बिंदा है ना सब बेड़ा बंद ये असर ये जो किया ना तूने कि हिंदुस्तान और जेंट्स को देख के तूने और पावर दिखाया कि क्या करने का करो अंदर नहीं आए थे हम लोग के आंखें हैं पूरा वीडियो है झूठ मत बोल ये वीडियो झूठ नहीं बोलता है समझी कर रहे देखिए वीडियो आप अंदर के वीडियो है ना इथे नाही इथे आतमध्ये आले आतमध्ये कोण बोलू नका गेली भाई
The Amarnath Yatra is in full swing, and even as the security forces remain on high alert amid the ongoing Yatra, Republic gains exclusive access to facial recognition watch list of the anti-national elements and overground workers. Our colleague Zeenat brings you this report. Take a look.
As we are covering the proceedings of the Amarnath Yatra and how the security is maintaining the tracks like the National Highway D, where from I am reporting, I'll ask my VJ Mubashir to show you what's happening here on the National Highway D, because this is the route that takes you to Baltal, and one important element that has been used this time is the facial recognition techniques that have been this time installed at all these locations where from the Yatra will travel. This is one important segment that has been introduced, where the people who travel on this road, their pictures are scanned, and almost there is already a data of around 3 lakh people, because they are the one registered with the Amarnath Yatra. Even the ones who are whether the Yatris or not Yatris, they too are getting scanned here, and in case there is some international element who is roaming around, there will be a proper hooter, the buzzer, and the post that you see here, that they have a complete data of those international like OGWs who have the links with the terror organization. The hooter will buzz and will immediately alert those people who are here and they are the part of the deployment. Then this person will be segregated from the rest of the lot, because the kind of screens that you see and the technology, despite a very small bunker, but it is quite effective in managing the tracks and identifying those who can create law and order here. So all these posts have been helped to the Jammu and Kashmir police, to the CRF. Actually the deployment that is here on duty 24/7, and then as my VJ Mubashir is showing you the kind of drill that goes here 24/7. The people who travel on National Highway, how they are being scanned, they are being searched, their identities is being checked.
It's time for us to now slip into a short break, but coming up after the break are the first live exclusive pictures of India getting its Apache power. Also after the break, lot of skepticism still in the opposition parties as to real reason behind the Vice President relinquishing his post and opting for retirement.
ये है सीक्रेट रेसिपी MDH का जीरा सिप जल जीरा मसाला।
इसको घर पे लगाओगे तो शादी का तो पता नहीं, पर घर पक्का नहीं टूटेगा।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार एकदम सॉलिड।
पहाड़ों में एक हाइकिंग शिप भी बन सकती है।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
U.S. President Donald Trump makes a big statement on Iran after Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi admits serious damage to Iran's nuclear facilities. He wrote, Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi, on the Iran nuclear sites, damages are very severe. They are destroyed. Of course they are, just like I said, and we will do it again if necessary. As interviewed by Brett Baer, fake news CNN should immediately fire their phony.
Thank you for staying with Republic. Moving across to some more breaking news that's coming in. The Andhra Pradesh Deputy Chief Minister Pawan Kalyan has slammed the Mughal era atrocities. He says that the textbooks have glorified the Mughal era. He also added that India has never conquered any territory and never attacked anyone. This country, in fact, was invaded. That big statement coming in by the Deputy Chief Minister of Andhra Pradesh, Pawan Kalyan, hitting back at the Mughal era atrocities, saying that the textbooks have in fact glorified the Mughal era and that India never conquered any territory. In fact, India was the country that was invaded by the Mughals.
Bharat 1 Minute brought to you by Canara Bank. Together we can.
Let's also have a quick check of the other stories that we're tracking in Bharat in 1 minute. Indian leaders protested against the ongoing special intensive revision of the electoral rules in Bihar, alleging that voting rights of people are being taken away. Multiple leaders, including Lok Sabha's leader of opposition Rahul Gandhi and Samajwadi Party chief Akhilesh Yadav, protested against the Bihar special intensive revision, calling for the exercise to be stopped. Two miscreants allegedly involved in the Chandan Mishra murder case were injured in an encounter with Bihar Special Task Force and Bhojpur police on Tuesday. The miscreants have been identified as Balwant Kumar Singh and Ravi Ranjan Kumar Singh. They have been arrested by Bihar police and are currently being treated in a hospital. The police has also seized 2 pistols and 1 magazine. Indian Air Force will retire its remaining MiG-21 fighter jets with special farewell ceremony in the month of September 2025. The Indian Air Force has 36 MiG-21 fighter jets in its arsenal. The Russian-made jet first entered service in India in 1963. And coming up after the break, details on how India is bidding goodbye to MiG-21 fighter jets after 60 years in service. And it's a big win for Yogi government. Top court has directed all hotel owners along the Kawar Yatra route to display license, registration certificate and comply with the mandate.
MDH की देगी मीरज,
देगी मिर्च का तड़का, अंग अंग फड़का।
MDH की देगी मीरज।
इस साल का जो प्रॉफिट है इंटरेस्ट पे डाल देंगे, हर महीने ब्याज का पैसा आता रहेगा।
अगर रेगुलर इनकम ही चाहिए तो आप वो पैसे फिक्स्ड इनकम फंड्स में डाल दो।
वो क्या होता है?
फिक्स्ड इनकम म्यूचुअल फंड्स चुने हुए ब्याज देने वाली कंपनी बॉन्ड्स, गवर्नमेंट बॉन्ड्स और मनी मार्केट में इन्वेस्ट करते हैं। सिस्टमैटिक विथड्रॉवल प्लान से आपको ऑन द डॉट फिक्स्ड अमाउंट भी आता रहेगा।
म्यूचुअल फंड में फिक्स्ड इनकम वाली बात सही है।
म्यूचुअल फंड निवेश बाजार जोखिमों के अधीन है। योजना से जुड़े सभी दस्तावेजों को ध्यान से पढ़ें।
U.S. President Donald Trump makes a big statement on Iran after Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi admits serious damage to Iran's nuclear facilities. He wrote, Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi, on the Iran nuclear sites, damages are very severe. They are destroyed. Of course they are.
Breaking news coming in. The crime branch has received a bomb threat email regarding the Ahmedabad airport. Search is still underway and nothing suspicious has been found so far. The police and the fire brigade are at spot. It seems like an hoax call that has been made, a hoax email that has been received at the Ahmedabad airport. But a cause of concern, because remember, just last week there were 40 schools in the national capital that had received bomb threat mails. The mail was also given out by a person who did not seem to be mentally stable, but this raised causes of concern. And this time, after the educational institutes, there is this Ahmedabad airport that has received a bomb threat. The searches are underway and nothing suspicious has been found so far. And in a similar case that has now come to light from the Nagpur airport, the Nagpur airport management has also received a threat through an anonymous email. The mail says that the airport will be blown up with explosives. The mail, it came on the airport website at around 9:30 a.m. The police has started investigating the airport area and so far nothing objectionable has been found. Days after a video of man eating fried chicken inside the ISKCON Govinda restaurant in London sparked massive outrage, the man in the centre of controversy has now issued a statement. This is the full story and the statement that followed after this.
Few days ago, a shocking incident unfolded at ISKCON's Govinda restaurant, a well-known pure vegetarian establishment, when a British youth of African descent entered the premises and asked if they served meat. Upon being informed that the restaurant only serves vegetarian food, the man brazenly pulled out a box of chicken from KFC and proceeded to eat it inside the restaurant. After the incident sparked outrage, the man has now apologized.
My actions were ill-timed, irresponsible, and after doing my research on the restaurant, seeing that that restaurant is very predominantly dominated by Hindu people where they believe in no violence and peaceful behaviors towards animals as well as people, my actions came off as offensive towards the community, and I would like to come here and offer a heartfelt, sincere apology for my actions. I just felt like it was just needed just to say a very good, sincere apology to the people I've offended. I would also like to make a comment on this rumor that I walked inside the Hindu temple and I started apparently eating chicken in the actual Hindu temple, which is completely false. Despite me obviously being Christian faith and not believing in any other religion, I'm not the type of person to go out and start disrespecting any other religion, whether it's obviously Jewish, Hindu, Muslim. That is not me, and that is shown in this clip right now. When I realized that I was walking into the temple and I have genuinely no business there to be in such a religious place, I took myself out of the equation, apologized, and I went into the vegan restaurant where I was gonna go do my pranking. Now, if I had known that that vegan restaurant was with the temple, I would have never filmed that prank in that specific restaurant and I'd have left.
Time for us to slip into a short break. Details after the break are the inside story on the mysterious exit of the ex-Vice President of India, Jagdeep Dhankar. Also coming up after the break is when Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha resumes. The agenda is going to be the voter list revision, where the opposition is looking forward to corner the government.
MDH की देगी मिर्च,
देगी मिर्च का तड़का, अंग अंग फड़का।
MDH की देगी मिर्च।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल, ये रंग दे, ये खुशबू दे, ये तीखा, ये कम पड़े, क्या निराला MDH मसाला।
U.S. President Donald Trump makes a big statement on Iran after Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi admits serious damage to Iran's nuclear facilities. He wrote, Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi, on the Iran nuclear sites, damages are very severe. They are destroyed. Of course they are, just like I said, and we will do it again if necessary. As interviewed by Brett Baer, fake news CNN should immediately fire their phony reporter and apologize to me and the great pilots who obliterated Iran's nuclear sites. CNN is a major ratings loser, as is MSDNC. He reiterated claims of having obliterated Iran's nuclear sites. He even reasserted that the U.S. will...
ये है सीक्रेट रेसिपी MDH का जीरा सिप जल जीरा मसाला।
U.S. President Donald Trump makes a big statement on Iran after Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi admits serious damage to Iran's nuclear facilities. He wrote, Iran's Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi, on the Iran nuclear sites, damages are very severe. They are destroyed. Of course they are, just like I said, and we will do it again if necessary. As interviewed by Brett Baer, fake news CNN should immediately fire their phony reporter and apologize to me and the great pilots who obliterated Iran's nuclear sites. CNN is a major ratings loser, as is MSDNC. He reiterated claims of having obliterated Iran's nuclear sites. He even reasserted that the U.S. will not walk away from attacking Iran if they deem it to be necessary.
A short time ago, the U.S. military carried out massive precision.
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
First batch of about-to-attack helicopters reaches India. Choppers to be deployed in Rajasthan's Jodhpur. Indian Air Force to retire the MiG-21 fighter jets this September after over 60 years in service. President of India accepts Jagdeep Dhankar's resignation. Dhankar writes to President last night. Prime Minister Modi tweets on Jagdeep Dhankar's resignation, wishes him good health and says he got many opportunities to serve the nation. Big win for Yogi government. Top court directs all hotel owners along the Kamar Yatra route to display license plate registration certificate. British Royal Navy's F-35B fighter flies out to Australia after being stranded for nearly a month at Kerala's Thiruvananthapuram airport.
कर सकते हैं
प्लीज बी सीटेड, प्लीज प्लीज प्लीज। नहीं नहीं नहीं, प्लीज प्लीज, सदन का समय को आप उपयोग कीजिए। नहीं, प्लीज प्लीज प्लीज, ऐसे प्लीज प्लीज बी सीटेड, प्लीज बी सीटेड, प्लीज 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 प्लीज। सदन चलने दीजिए। सदन का समय सबका है। प्लीज सदन को चलने दीजिए, प्लीज। आप लोग बैठिए, प्लीज 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 बी सीटेड, प्लीज 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 बी सीटेड। सभी आपका सभी मुद्दे का ऊपर सदन में चर्चा होगा, सदन में पूरा चर्चा होगा, आपको पूरा मौका मिलेगा। प्लीज बी सीटेड, प्लीज प्लीज, सदन में प्लीज बी सीटेड, प्लीज 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 बी सीटेड। आपके कारण सदन नहीं चल रहा है, ऐसे प्लीज बी सीटेड। सदन चलाने में सब लोग मदद कीजिए। आप सदन नहीं चलाना चाहते हैं, सदन नहीं चलाना चाहते हैं। अगर सदन नहीं चलाना चाहते हैं, सभा की कार्यवाही बुधवार। रिजिजू जी, किरण, माननीय मंत्री जी, किरण जी, एक मिनट, प्लीज बी सीटेड, प्लीज प्लीज।
मैं फिर से अपील करना चाहता हूँ, ये हमारा अपोजिशन पार्टी के लीडर सब यहाँ मौजूद हैं। हम लोगों ने कभी किसी विषय पे चर्चा का फाइनल निर्णय हम लोगों ने बीएससी में पूरा अभी फाइनल नहीं किया गया है। बीएससी में ये चर्चा हुई थी कि सबसे पहले ऑपरेशन सिंदूर पे चर्चा होगी और उसका समय भी तय किया गया है। अब एक साथ में सारे मुद्दे को चर्चा करना चाहते हैं, ये कैसे संभव हो सकता है? जबकि उन्होंने भी एग्री किया है, हमने टाइम भी फिक्स कर चुका है, किस नियम पे चर्चा करना है उसका फाइनल करना है। हर समय यहाँ ये तकिया लेकर के जो नियम के विरुद्ध में जो प्रदर्शन करता है, मैं उसका खंडन करता हूँ। ये निंदनीय है। सभापति महोदय जी, ये सब सुन रहे हैं, ये मेरा बात सुन रहे हैं। ये बिजनेस एडवाइजरी कमेटी में हम लोग जो बात करते हैं और सबने कहा कि ये प्लकार्ड लेकर के सदन में नहीं आएंगे, फिर ये अपने एमपीओ को ये पोस्टर बैनर लेकर के सदन को इस तरीके से डिस्टर्ब करना, ये तो बहुत आपत्तिजनक है जी। और वो चर्चा मांग रहे हैं, हम चर्चा के लिए तैयार है, फिर ये सदन चलने नहीं देते हैं। ये डबल स्टैंडर्ड बिल्कुल गलत बात है। चर्चा चाहते हैं तो ये हंगामा मत करो। सरकार ने बार बार कहा है कि हम चर्चा करना चाहते हैं, फिर ये हंगामा क्यों कर रहे हैं? कौन जिम्मेदार लेगा? देश का करोड़ों टैक्स मनी को आप लोग हंगामा करके बर्बाद कर रहे हैं, जवाब देना पड़ेगा। हम लोग सुबह से तैयार करके आते हैं, बिजनेस लेके आते हैं, चर्चा के लिए हम लोग तैयार हैं। आप लोग सदन का समय बर्बाद कर रहे हैं। ये सब हमारा जो कांग्रेस पार्टी और उनके कुछ साथियों ने जो 2 दिन से जो हंगामा कर रहे हैं, मैं इसका खंडन करना चाहता हूँ।
धन्यवाद। देखिए, ये सदन का ये अच्छी परंपरा नहीं है। बार बार आप लोग प्ले कार्ड पोस्टर्स लेकर के सदन में इस तरह का परिस्थिति, इस तरह का व्यवहार, ये गणतंत्र के अच्छी स्वास्थ्य के लिए ठीक नहीं है। आप गणतंत्र को स्वस्थ रखिए, गणतंत्र में आपको सम्मिलित होइए। माननीय मंत्री जी ने बोला है, हर विषय के ऊपर, हर मुद्दे के ऊपर सदन में चर्चा होगा। बीएससी मीटिंग में तय हुआ है। अगर आप सदन नहीं चलाना चाहते हैं, सभा की कार्यवाही बुधवार दिनांक 23 जुलाई 2025 को प्रातः 11 बजे तक के लिए स्थगित की जाती है।
All right, people, so that was the ruckus in the parliament. You just witnessed earlier the Rajya Sabha was adjourned, and this is the live visual coming in from the Lok Sabha where Kiran Rijiju was speaking. As he was speaking, there was continuous disruption, there was ruckus and sloganeering in the parliament, and he schooled the opposition for disrupting monsoon session. He says that the centre is ready to discuss and debate on the issues, but they are not allowing that. They continue to disrupt the parliament, as the opposition has been doing this since yesterday. As we've seen, Rijiju has dared the opposition for a debate, that you should debate instead of just disrupting, and they should not be wasting the taxpayers' money. So that was Kiran Rijiju there, was schooling the opposition over what's been happening for the past 2 days. In this is day 2 of the monsoon session, remember, and the opposition MPs continue to create ruckus in the parliament. And we have more updates coming in, viewers. Remember, Lok Sabha has been adjourned for the day now amid a massive sloganeering by the opposition. The Congress has been questioning also about what has happened in the past 24 hours. Remember, Jagdeep Dhankar has resigned, and his resignation has been accepted by the president. So there are multiple updates coming in right now. And Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha both have been adjourned over the ruckus by the opposition, as the opposition continues to disrupt the functioning of the House. And Congress, meanwhile, has been also alleging that behind Dhankar's resignation, there is something far more than meets the eye, and demanding answers for that. The opposition has also stormed the well of the House today, and there has been massive sloganeering, and both the houses have been adjourned till tomorrow. So this is the breaking news we have right now. And in fact, viewers, we will get you more updates. But another big story, viewers, is about Jagdeep Dhankar. His resignation is making headlines. Resignation has been accepted by the President of India. He has cited health issues for vacating the constitutional post, but the opposition parties are not satisfied with the reason. They claim that there is more to this sudden resignation than what is meeting the eye right now. Congress calls Dhankar's resignation shocking and unexpected. Congress leader Jairam Ramesh has in fact questioned the official explanation behind Vice President Dhankar's resignation, hinting at deep political undercurrents. He also slammed Nadda and Rijiju's absence in Business Advisory Committee meeting that was held by Dhankar yesterday. So Congress is speculating over the exit of Jagdeep Dhankar. He has resigned from the constitutional post of the Vice President. Take a listen into the reactions that have come in.
The Vice President resignation, what's your opinion on it?
I feel serious doubt about it. I have seen him on the dais and I have seen him working properly. He was in the House yesterday in the morning. Then he was participating. He was advising people to follow whatever instruction is given. And suddenly, all of a sudden, the resignation in which he has quoted his ill health, I don't believe. I mean, age is a factor, but then it was not that serious that he could abstain from the House and something like that. And within last 15 days, or you can see in a month, have you ever heard Honorable Dhankarji's health is not good, he has gone for checkup or nothing? He was absolutely fine.
You also believe that's a more that meets
because
the eye.
the silence of the BJP speaks a volume. That's all.
Chaudhary, what's your response to VP's resignation, as Congress continuously stating that there is more that meets the eye?
अक्लमंद को इशारा काफी है. देश भर समझ रहे हैं कि क्या नाटक चल रही है भाजपा में. ये नाटक चलते रहेगी. तो फिर हमने अब ये वायरस जो अजीब वायरस फैल रही है भाजपा में, इसमें कई पेशेंट अब प्रवेश हो जाएंगे. आप देखते रहिए.
But as Jairam Ramesh is stating, why Congress believes that something happened between 4:30 p.m. Because JP Nadda responded that he informed Vice President about his skipping the BAC meeting.
I don't know. Jairam Ramesh ji may have better knowledge about all this. I am not in the know of all this.
But Congress and other opposition parties will be raising this issue in the parliament today?
Well, let's see what's going to happen, because there's something weird going on. So let's check it.
What weird? Ma'am, you're again stating that there's something weird. What look like?
The House notification that Parliament will come into session has been given to members of Parliament and the whole country more than 25 days ago. Everything was fine. Suddenly overnight, yesterday the session started. That was also fine. And suddenly by evening there is a crisis and you have the Prime Minister travelling outside the country. Today the country has no Vice President. We are headless in so many ways.
Ma'am, what's your point of view on the resignation of Vice President? Because Congress is stating that there's more that meets the eye.
Well, it's very shocking, very surprising. Nobody expected, because just yesterday was the first day of the monsoon session, and Honorable Vice President, who was also the chairman of Rajya Sabha, was present during the entire proceedings, and he conducted the House very well. And generally, as a chairman, we've seen him very energetic and always participating in the House, and suddenly his resignation comes up. So that is definitely unexpected, but he's also cited health reasons. So I don't think we need to see a lot into his resignation. He's given a reason, and we've also seen that there have been a couple of episodes in the past few months where his health issues have come to the notice of all of us. So I wish him a speedy recovery, and I hope he gains a good health.
As a union minister and of particularly this ministry, continuously it's being said by Congress party that health grounds, it doesn't feel right. You also feel the same, that health grounds is the reason?
Well, he stated so, and we have to believe it, and we have seen it also. It's not something which has been created or made up. We've seen in the past few months there have been episodes. I remember in Uttarakhand he was there, and he suddenly, his health deteriorated and he had to be hospitalized. So there have been a couple of episodes which do tell us that yes, on the health front he has been facing issues.
You agree that the politics by opposition party has gotten too low, that now they are raising this issue as well?
They have nothing of public interest, common public interest to raise in the House. That is why they are getting into these things.
Right, we have some breaking news coming in right now. It's from Madurai bench of the High Court ordering the Tamil Nadu. Okay, we have some breaking news coming in. The Election Commission has defended authority to seek citizenship proof. All right, so this is about the survey, the voter list survey in Bihar, and we have the Election Commission defending its authority to seek citizenship proof. Because remember, this last week, the court had told the Election Commission that while they can go ahead with the survey, it's the duty of, it's actually the role of the MHA to determine the citizenship of the people. And now, Election Commission of India has defended authority to seek citizenship proof. In fact, Election Commission says that we have this obligation, I quote, we have this obligation flowing from Article 326 of the Constitution and Section 16 and 19 of the Representation of the People Act 1950. We are statutorily bound to ensure that only citizens of India are registered as voters. Election Commission of India is obligated to verify the eligibility of the voters. So there you have the argument of the Election Commission of India to the Supreme Court, talking about the scrutiny of the voters is constitutionally mandated for registering voters. That is only Indian citizens who can vote, and that's why they need the proof of citizenship. That is what Election Commission has told the Supreme Court. And this happens after last week we saw that the Supreme Court had refused to put a stay on the survey, the voter list survey in Bihar. However, it had also remarked that that Aadhaar should be admitted. All right, we have Executive Editor for Legal Affairs, Ridham Anand Bharadwaj, joining us. Ridham, tell us more what the Election Commission has been telling the Supreme Court. It has clearly defended that it has all the right to determine, to take the citizenship proof.
That's right. The Election Commission of India comes out very, very strongly, defends its authority to seek the proof of citizenship during the special intensive revision, which is SIR of electoral rolls in Bihar. It's filed this counter affidavit, which is being heard in the Supreme Court. It's going to come up on 28th of July next. What has it said in the affidavit? Very crucially, it says that its obligation flows from the Constitution and the Representation of People Act, which is Article 326 and Section 16 and 19 of the other Act. What is it trying to say? It's trying to say that we have the power to scrutinize whether a proposed electoral fulfills the criteria for being registered as a voter in the electoral roll. That is simply what the affidavit is asserting again and again, and it says that this power flows from the Constitution of India, Article 326. In a beautifully worded affidavit, it says the power also flows from Section 326 and 1619 of the Representation of People's Act. It also goes on to say, Rakshita, that under the provisions of the Constitution of India, the Election Commission of India is obligated to verify the eligibility of voters and ensure that any person who fails to fulfill the mandate is not included in the electoral rolls. This is a very clear affidavit where not only are they asserting their rights, but they're also defending their rights and saying that it flows from the Constitution. In a very strongly worded affidavit, the Commission also rejects the argument that the power to adjudicate citizenship is only with the central government. In fact, they say no, when it comes to such powers, it is also us in cases of voluntary acquisition. Yes, it's the central government that has the powers, but when it comes to citizen of India or how, therefore the limited purpose of exclusive jurisdiction, this power is with the central government. For other aspects which are related to citizenship, it is therefore constitutionally obligated that the Election Commission of India also has the powers. This is one of the first times ever we are seeing the ECI make its powers known in the top court of the country. They're also rejecting the argument that requiring proof of citizenship during the SIR amounts to reversing the burden of proof. They are clearly stating under the electoral registration scheme, a person must apply for inclusion in the roll by submitting certain documents. On the question of removal of existing names from the electoral roll, they clarify such removal is undertaken only after a detailed inquiry, after the electoral registration officer is satisfied a person is not qualified for the registration. So this is not being done in an arbitrary manner. The Election Commission of India, Rakshita, very clearly specifying this is only done after a proper scrutiny is done.
Right, Rhythm. Right, Rhythm. In fact, also anything on the admission of Aadhaar cards and voter ID and ration card, because I think the Election Commission has also somewhere asserted that they cannot be just standalone documents submitted.
Well, they have not stated anything as such on Aadhaar card. They have only stated in this affidavit that we are going to be going and talking about our powers, and our powers are clear. The affidavit is clearly going and giving details about what the powers of the Election Commission are when it comes to the obligation that flows on their authority to seek proof of citizenship, number one. Then they are talking about the power they have to scrutinize whether an elected fulfills the criteria, number two. Then they are talking about the Constitution and how they are obligated to verify the eligibility of the voters, number three. Then they talk about rejecting the argument that it's only the central government that can go into powers to see whether the citizenship is there with a certain person or not. And number five, they are strongly going and rejecting the argument that proof of citizenship that is asked for during the SIR amounts to reversing the burden of proof. Like I said, they said removal of the existing names is only done when there is a detailed inquiry and only when the ERO, that's the Electoral Registration Officer, is satisfied a person is not qualified for registration. This case is going to come up on the 28th of July. It's caused a lot of chaos in political circles, Rakshita, but the Election Commission of India's affidavit making it stand extremely clear.
Right. Rhythm, thank you so much for joining us with those details coming in from the Supreme Court on the Election Commission clearing its position and defending its right to seek the citizenship proof. Viewers, now we have some breaking news coming in. Madurai bench of the High Court has ordered the Tamil Nadu government to pay 25 lakh rupee compensation to the family of Ajit Kumar, who died in an attack by the policemen in Sivaganga. Breaking news coming in right now. This is about the custodial death of the temple guard Ajit. Now, the High Court has ordered 25 lakh rupee compensation for Ajit Kumar's family. This is the breaking news we have right now. He has also pulled up the Tamil Nadu government for this custodial death and the entire case. Shada joins us live in the broadcast for more. Shada, tell us more details. High Court has also pulled up the Stalin government and also ordered compensation.
Well, you know, Rakshita, this is the 25th custodial death under the DMK regime, especially after Stalin came to power. So in the last 4 years, the count has come up to 25. And this custodial death happened on June 28th in Sivaganga district, following which the Ajit's family was said to be given a compensation of rupees 5 lakh by the DMK government. Along with it was a government job and 3 cents of land for Ajit Kumar's brother Naveen. However, the Madurai bench of High Court called the custodial death a very bad killing, and they also said that the inquiry happened in such a way that there was no FIR and no CSR was also filed in this particular case, and following which the case was moved to CBCID and then later to CBI, and they have been given time till August 20 to give the final inquiry and what the findings have been. Now, following which the CBI has now submitted certain details in relation to this particular case, and I've also found out that the van that the police had used to take Ajit Kumar was given a fake ID number, and with which the Madras Bench High Court of Madurai today said that the compensation of 5 lakhs would not be enough and the government should make it 25 lakhs, Rakshita.
Absolutely, yes, Radha. Well, in fact, tell us more details about anything as far as the investigation into the matter is concerned. There has been a lot of politicization of this matter as well. But tell us what has been found on yet in the meantime as far as the investigation is concerned.
Well, the CBI is now doing a detailed inquiry in this. They visited the entire location where Ajit Kumar was taken. If you remember that Ajit Kumar was not taken to the police station but was taken to multiple ponds, lakes and even farm areas that was situated around his place, and that's the reason that now the CBI is visiting every single place where he was tied up. They are also trying to recreate the accident scene of how Ajit was hit, and they also visited the temple shed where Ajit was actually killed by the police when he was under custody. So with CBI investigation underway now, so that's the reason, Rakshita, what's going on right now. Back to the studio.
Right, Radha. Thanks so much for joining us with the details coming in on that story. Viewers, we shift our focus to other story we're tracking for you. The Amarnath Yatra is in full swing amid heightened security. Multiple agencies, including Jammu Kashmir Police, CRPF, ITP, PE, Army and the Shrine Board operate together under one roof, ensuring seamless communication and quick response. Our colleague Zeen Aziz Fazil brings you this report.
As we are covering the Amarnath Yatra, and this is from the Baltal Access. This is one of the shortest routes when you take route to Amarnath Cave. In fact, I'm here at the surveillance room, and this is one such room where you get the real-time information about the people who are in your surroundings, the people who are taking care of your security, the people who are moving towards the Amarnath Cave, and those who are doing the darshan. As per Jammu and Kashmir Police, the screens have been divided into 12 parts. Then in each screen you see different kind of figures, and there you have a numbering that tells you that where exactly a help has to go, whether a person who is in the surrounding, if at all he comes with an international history, he is an OGW or trying to create a disruption, he will be immediately, the police will be immediately alerted, because the facial recognition system has been installed where you have the images of around more than 3 lakh people. So if any person who is in the, who's a history cheater, the siren will blow, it will alert, and he will be detained immediately. Then you see the people with the backpacks, they go inside these tents, because most of them are yatris, but still if there any suspicious movement is observed, again an alert will be sounded. Then you see the tracks, the buses, in case any person tries to do some hanky-panky with any of the bus that has been stationed, because this is showing you, giving a full view of the bus yard where the travelers, they are using these bus because they are the registered yatri. So everything gets monitored, and even the darshan, the people who are doing the darshan, doing the puja, the real time is their visual can be seen, and if at all there is an untoward incident, immediately a response, immediately a help will be sent. So that also tells you how the security of the yatris, the locals, and even the pony walas or these palki walas, who are the service providers of this entire yatra, which will culminate on the 9th of August. So all kind of help, all kind of monitoring is taking place from this very place. With
news coming in right now, because Maharashtra Minister Manikram Kokate says that he will take legal action against the opposition leaders who quote-unquote defamed him by sharing a video where he was seen playing online card game Rummy, and that they claim playing a game of Rummy on his mobile phone in the assembly. Now, NCP leader Kokate has asserted that he does not even know how to play Rummy online. And he said that he will write to the Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis and Legislative Council Chairperson Ram Shinde to investigate the video. In fact, Kokate has spoken out against the opposition. Listen in.
मैं दोषी निकला तो मैं खुद होके मुख्यमंत्री के पास नहीं, उप मुख्यमंत्री के पास नहीं, डायरेक्ट राज्यपाल के पास में जाके राजीनामा दे दूंगा। मेरा नाता है ही नहीं, मेरा अकाउंट ओपन है, मेरा मोबाइल नंबर है आपके पास में, यू कैन वेरीफाई। जो भी इंक्वायरी ऑफिसर होगा मैं उसको सप्लाई पूरा दे दूंगा उसके पास में, पूरा ब्यौरा मेरे पास जितना है, उतना जिनको लगेगा इंक्वायरी के लिए उतना सब मैं अवेलेबल कर दूंगा। वो कोई ना कोई षड्यंत्र है और वो षड्यंत्र वो ढूंढना है, इसलिए मैं इंक्वायरी की मांग कर रहा हूँ। जो पॉलिटिकल लीडर मेरे खिलाफ में महाराष्ट्र में मेरी बदनामी कर रहे हैं, सारे पॉलिटिकल लीडर को मैं कोर्ट में खींचूंगा, अब्रू नुकसान का दावा लगाऊंगा, उसके बाद में उनके ऊपर कार्रवाई होगी।
Bharat 1 Minute brought to you by Canara Bank. Together we can.
All right, finally the Apache's batch has reached India after months, more than 9 to 10 months of wait. The Apache batch, the attack helicopter, has reached India. It's the first batch advanced combat helicopter of Apache for the Indian Army that has reached India. They will be deployed in Jodhpur base by the Indian Army. In the competition for cleanliness across India, Chandigarh has ranked second. Retired DIG in Punjab Police Inderjeet Singh Sidhu engaged in the selfless service of cleaning the society at the age of 87. A massive fire broke out at a plastic factory located at Vapi in the Valsad district of Gujarat. No further details reported, no casualties reported. The Nagpur airport received a bomb threat via email, triggering a massive search operation by the security agencies. The threat was received through an email sent around 7:30 a.m. Message claimed that an IED bomb had been placed inside a cigarette packet and could explode at any time. No suspicious object has been found and investigation is underway. Time for a short break, viewers, but we get you more details about the first batch of the Apache attack helicopters that have finally landed in India. They're all set to be deployed in Jodhpur. And President Murmu has accepted Jagdeep Dhankar's resignation. Meanwhile, political face-off heats up in the parliament over his resignation.
MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल, ये रंग दे, ये खुशबू दे, ये तीखा, ये कम पड़े, क्या निराला MDH मसाला।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे, केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल बोलो जुबान केसरी।
I hereby rule that RSS is an organization that has full constitutional rights to participate in the development journey of this nation. This organization bears unimpeachable credentials, comprises of people who are deeply committed to serving the nation selflessly.
Hello and welcome. You're watching Republic TV with me, Akanksha Khajuria. There's a massive uproar over the resignation of now the former Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar. We'll tell you more about this, but first, as always, the headlines. First batch of Apache attack helicopters reaches India, choppers to be deployed in Jodhpur. Indian Air Force to retire MiG-21 fighter jets this September after over 60 years in service. President of India accepts Jagdeep Dhankar's resignation. Dhankar wrote to President last night citing health reasons. Prime Minister tweets on Jagdeep Dhankar's resignation, wishes him good health and says he got many opportunities to serve the nation. Big win for Yogi government. Top court has directed all the hotel owners along the Kawad Yatra route to display license as well as the registration certificate. F-35B fighter jet has now flown to Australia after being stranded in India for nearly a month. In fact, look at the visuals that we are getting in as far as the Apache helicopters are concerned. In fact, this is big breaking news that we are getting for you. These are the visuals of the first batch of Apache attack helicopters for the Indian Army that have arrived in the country and will soon be deployed at Jodhpur in Rajasthan. Those are the helicopters on your screen, and they have reached India. And this induction of these advanced combat helicopters is all set to bolster the Army's operational capabilities in the region as well. In fact, earlier today, Indian Army took to social media and they mentioned that Indian Army has inducted Apache, milestone moment for the Indian Army, as the first batch of these helicopters that you can see on the screen for Army aviation has arrived today in the country. All right, let me go across to my colleague Gursimran, who's been tracking this story very closely. Gursimran, tell us about the first batch of the Apache helicopters that have arrived in the country. And right now we are showing our viewers the first visuals, live and exclusive visuals of these very important, very crucial helicopters.
Yes, the first set of 3 Apache helicopters, attack helicopters, has arrived from the United States to India, and they have arrived at the Indian Air Base, and they will be now deployed at the Jodhpur, where the squadron of the Apache helicopter has been raised by the Indian Army's Aviation Corps. This is going to be a major shot in the arm of the Indian Army, because now Indian Army's Aviation Corps will also have the air power, and also known as one of the, since if we go by the details, it is one of the most advanced attack helicopters that the Indian Army now has in its fleet, and it is very important reason for the 30 mm chain gun that it has to decimate the enemy's targeted locations. Second is the longbow radar system that can actually trace, intercept and act upon the threats that are coming from the adversary, even not being in line of sight of the adversary. And the important thing that also makes this one, this attack helicopter different, AH-64E different from the others, is it's the Hellfire missile system that is also part of this helicopter that can target the locations or even those locations of the enemy deep inside their territory while operating in the combat zone. So it is going to be very important, though it was expected that it will be arriving earlier. It came 15 months after raising the squadron of the Apache in Jodhpur, and its deployment in the western borders of the country makes it very clear that this is not only the deployment but also the strategic positioning of the Apache, which is being done by the Indian Army so as to give adversary a clear-cut message that if they dare to challenge us, it will be given a befitting reply.
Absolutely. And Gursimran, this is regarded as the world's most advanced attack helicopters. Explain for our viewers, for better clarity, how this would enhance the capability of the Indian Army.
See, first thing and the foremost important thing is that this is a tried and tested attack helicopter, because in 2015 we saw it was first the Indian Air Force that placed an order for 22 Apache helicopters, and that were delivered in phases to the Indian Air Force by the United States-based Boeing. And now after that, in 2022, the order for the 6 Apache helicopters was placed by the Indian Army, and the first delivery comes today when they reach the Indian Air Base, and now they will be deployed in the Jodhpur Air Base, the squadron where the squadron of the Apache helicopters has been raised by the Indian Army. When it comes to their specifics, like I have earlier mentioned also, that this is one of the class helicopters, attack helicopters, that the world uses, because be it United States, United Kingdom, we have seen Israel also using the same, and now India is also in line with those countries. This will give the Indian Army's Aviation Corps an extra edge, reason being the way it fires upon the enemy using its 30mm chain gun system, and also the Hellfire missile that is also integrated in this helicopter, along with the longbow radar system that makes it really different from others, and also it pushes adversary a step back, reason being that it can track, trace and destroy the adversary's target without being in line of the adversary's sight. So these are some of the specialities of this Apache helicopter that has now officially become the part of Indian Army's Aviation Corps, and the rest of the 3 that are part of this 6 Apache deliveries, they will be delivered soon to India.
Well, absolutely. And this comes after Defense Minister Rajnath Singh, in fact, also spoke to US Secretary of Defense, is what we are learning, Pete Hegseth, over the delivery of this first batch of Apache helicopters that have come. But tell us about the delay in delivery as well, because we're learning that there was a delay of as many as 15 months for the delivery of the first batch of Apache helicopter. Give us more details on that.
See, it was last year when the Indian Army raised the squadron of Apache helicopters based in Jodhpur, and since then it was expected that any time there will be delivery of the Apache helicopters, attack helicopters, but there has been a delay. India has been taking up the issue with the manufacturer Boeing as well as the US, and as you have mentioned that at the defense ministry level also it was taken with the US counterparts that it needs to be part of the India's combat missions as at an earliest, and now it has been delivered, the first batch.
Absolutely, and this is a big boost to the Indian Army. Let me now go across to Major Samar Paltur. Thank you so much for speaking to Republic TV. How do you see this delivery of the first batch of the Apache helicopters to the country? Your first reaction on that?
Basically, this is, I think it is interconnected to the tariffs and whatever the behind the closed door deals that have taken place. And secondly, you see, even the Tejas engine was being delayed. But I strongly feel that with the talks with the Indian government in terms of the tariff rates and in terms of following the cap of purchasing oil from other countries, I think keeping all these things and guidelines in mind, I think America has opened up its delivery on time, and probably America also knows that there are other countries which are offering India one of its best fifth generation fighter jets.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Big boost to the Indian Army. In fact, thank you so much for speaking to Republic TV. We are shifting our focus to the day 2 of the monsoon session of the Parliament. What we're learning is that a key meeting is underway between the Prime Minister, JP Nadda, and the Home Minister. This crucial meet is currently underway in the Parliament, and this comes on the day when there was massive ruckus in the Parliament. Firstly, because of the sudden resignation of now the former Vice President Jagdeep Dhankar, and secondly, on the survey that is currently underway in the state of Bihar. Just a while back, we saw visuals coming in from the Parliament where there was massive ruckus. Now, there on the screen, you can see, in fact, we'll be showing you those visuals in just some time. In fact, what we're learning is that this crucial meeting is currently underway inside the Parliament complex, where the Prime Minister and JP Nadda, also the Home Minister, are in a huddle right now to discuss the way forward as far as the Parliament session is concerned. We'll try and connect with our reporters who are there at the Parliament. But this, in fact, is the news that is coming in from the Parliament of India at a time when the monsoon session of the Parliament is underway. But in the last 2 days, we have only seen ruckus in the Parliament. Adjournment after adjournment is what we have seen in the last 2 days. In fact, just a while back, Kiran Rijiju, who's the Parliament Affairs Minister, he just spoke and he asked the opposition parties to debate and not disrupt the proceedings of the Parliament. He also urged them to not waste the taxpayer money, and all this amid the ruckus that was created by the opposition leaders. We heard slogans, there were placards that opposition party leaders were holding as far as the survey in Bihar is concerned, and also about the sudden resignation of the Vice President there. Right now, this key meeting is underway in the Parliament, where Prime Minister Amit Shah and JP Nadda are in a huddle over the way forward. All right, so this crucial meeting is currently underway in the Parliament. Today is day 2 of the monsoon session of the Parliament, and we're learning that this crucial meet is underway. We'll try and connect with our reporters to know what this meeting is all about. But Prime Minister is there meeting with the top leaders of his party. JP Nadda, Union Home Minister, Amit Shah are also part of this crucial meeting that is currently underway. But let me take you through what has happened in the last 2 days in the parliament. We have seen ruckus and sloganeering also by the opposition party as far as Operation Sindoor, and today as far as the resignation of Jagdeep Dhankar and also the survey in Bihar is concerned. So for the way forward, now the Prime Minister is meeting with JP Nadda and the Union Home Minister Amit Shah there in the Parliament. Let me go across to my colleague Soumya, who's been reporting live from the Parliament. Soumya, we're learning that this crucial huddle is currently underway in the Parliament. What is this meeting all about? All right, we'll try and reconnect that line with Soumya, who's been reporting from the Parliament. Soumya, if you can hear me, what is this meeting all about? We're learning that a crucial huddle is underway. Prime Minister is part of that meeting as well. Amit Shah and JP Nadda are present too.
Well, yes, see, Akanksha, as we all know.
As we all know, that Prime Minister is set to leave for his two important foreign visits, one being Maldives and then to UK. So this comes at a time when we saw that VP Jagdeep Dhankar yesterday tendered his resignation, and it was also accepted by President Murmu. So it can be expected that given such big developments and wherein the opposition is picking up this issue.
Let me first go across to Senior Executive Editor Abhishek Kapoor, who's joining us live on this broadcast. What is this meeting all about? Because we are learning that the Prime Minister is meeting with JP Nadda and also the Union Home Minister Amit Shah.
Well, absolutely. After a long time, all is not well as far as the Modi government is concerned, as far as the Treasury benches are concerned. When the Vice President of India resigns on the first day of the Parliament session, there is something in principle wrong. Though the government is trying to downplay it, but there are certain issues which have been playing out for a long while. This has just not happened suddenly, though no one, and we could confirm it to you even through our sources, that no one expected it to happen yesterday itself. But yes, there is a pretext to it. The meeting which is happening right now is happening right after the cabinet meeting and right before the Prime Minister leaves late tonight for the UK and Maldives. So there is a lot which needs to be discussed. BJP needs to keep its house in order. The government needs to continue the work in the parliament. The opposition, for the first time in the last 11 years, has got a real issue to take on the government and say that there is something which is going wrong in the government. Otherwise, the vice president, which was chosen by this very dispensation, why will he resign, and that too suddenly? And the health factor is just not adding up, and the opposition has basically added the maths to it. So there is a lot of to and fro to it, but at this point of time, the top three leaders of the BJP, that is the Prime Minister, the Home Minister and the BJP National President Jagat Prakash Nadda, meeting right after the cabinet and right before the Prime Minister leaving for overseas, is an important message that the Prime Minister wants everything in place. There is still a new BJP national president which needs to be chosen. There is a churn which is already on it, and now the new vice president has to be chosen in. The numbers are now with the NDA and not with the BJP. NDA coming together, they can still very comfortably sail through. But for that, they would need TDP and JDU, which are in principle with them. So all of this will add up, but these are crucial times, these are sensitive times, or for the first time we can say that the government is half a step back and they really have to think before they take this leap. And that's why we are saying that these meetings will carry on. Even when the Prime Minister leaves for overseas, we are being told that late in the evening today, Home Minister has called up another important meeting at his residence, which will have at least the BJP National President, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, and 4 other senior ministers. So a lot of churning is going on within the BJP after the resignation of the Vice President, which we could confirm through our sources, not even expected by the government to happen yesterday itself.
Absolutely. And one more question before I let you go. There was a massive ruckus in the parliament today over, first of all, the resignation of the vice president, then on the Bihar survey that is currently underway, and several other issues that the opposition parties are raising. And just a while back, Kiran Rijiju said that opposition party must debate and not disrupt the proceedings of the parliament. So take us through what has happened on day 2 of this monsoon session.
Well, as I said, this for the first time they have a real issue. They can create disruption. Till now, everyone, including the media, has been saying that discussion and disruption should be the way. But for the first time, the opposition is saying that we have to ask the government. The government has to come out clean. Why has the vice president resigned? There are a lot of theories going on. There is a theory going on regarding Justice Verma's impeachment process being led in the upper house, which made the government really, really angry and anxious, post which there was a meeting with the former vice president and a senior minister, post which this discussion was taken. But all of this is just theory. Facts have to be backed up, and that is why the opposition is now raking a controversy around it. The opposition is basically making 1 and 1 11 and not 2. So what they are saying is that they are saying that the government is on the back foot and they are hitting it out. So for the first time, and I repeat, they have an issue on which they can create disruption, and the government would have to follow up. That's why these meetings which are happening right now, whether it is between the Prime Minister, the Home Minister and the BJP National President right now, or the one which the Home Minister has called in late tonight at his residence, which will have at least 6 to 7 ministers, makes it very, very crucial that what is going to be the way forward, who's going to be the next Vice President. The biggest question, as we say and as Arnab say, Puchta hai Bharat. The country wants to know who is going to be the next Vice President of India. Similarly, who's going to be the next BJP president? BJP already had one big question mark. Who is going to be the next BJP national president? And now a bigger question mark is in place, that who is going to be replacing Jagdeep Dhankar as the next vice president of India. So yes, these are issues on which we are going to see that at least for this session, the opposition has its hands full and the government really needs to answer these questions up now.
Absolutely. So all eyes will be on who will be the next Vice President of the country. Thank you so much, Executive Editor Aishwarya Kapoor. They're reporting live from the Parliament. And not just in the Parliament, now shifting our focus to Bihar. So not just in Parliament, we are also witnessing ruckus in Bihar Assembly over the survey that is currently underway in the state of Bihar just ahead of the election. There you can see in the visuals, those are the opposition leaders there in Bihar Assembly raising slogans. They are wearing black clothes to show their protest against the SIR survey that is currently underway in the state of Bihar. Now, earlier today as well, we saw chaotic scenes in the State Assembly in Bihar as the members of RJD Congress-led opposition Grand Alliance staged a massive protest over the ongoing special intensive revision, that is SIR, and the worsening law and order situation in the state. So these are the two issues that the opposition parties there are raising. There on the screen, you can see these are the leaders from RJD and Congress-led opposition Grand Alliance there raising slogans against in fact, the special intensive revision that is currently underway and the law and order situation, especially in the backdrop of what happened in the Paras Hospital last week where...
लेकिन कोई नतीजा जो है नहीं निकल पाया, लोगों में कंफ्यूजन है और किस तरीके से चुनाव आयोग का पूरा प्रोसेस जो है कितनी गड़बड़ियां हो रही है। बिना वोटर के ही जो BLO जो है फॉर्म साइन करके अंगूठा लगा के अपलोड कर रहे हैं। 11 ऐसे डॉक्यूमेंट्स हैं जो गरीबों के पास नहीं है, जो प्रवासी बिहारी हैं, जो बाहर काम करने के लिए चाहे छोटे अवधि के लिए या बड़े अवधि के लिए गए हुए हैं, वो कैसे वोटर बनेंगे। तो एक बड़ा सवाल जो है खड़ा होता है। और आप सब लोग जान रहे हैं कि आज हम सब लोगों ने, इंडिया अलायंस के सभी साथियों ने कार्य स्थगन प्रस्ताव लाने का काम किया ताकि इस पे विशेष तौर पे चर्चा जो है कराई जाए, ताकि सही बात जो है वो निकल कर के आए। आप बताइए, जो बिहार का सबसे बड़ा अगर लोकतंत्र का अगर कोई मंदिर है तो बिहार विधानसभा है और लोकतंत्र की जननी बिहार है। अगर वहीं से लोकतंत्र को ख़त्म किया जा रहा है तो हम सब लोगों का कर्तव्य बनता है, चाहे पक्ष हो विपक्ष हो, चाहे अध्यक्ष महोदय हो, सब लोग वोटर जो है, जनता जो है, मालिक जो है वही चुनते हैं। जब उनका ही अधिकार छीन लिया जाएगा वोटर देने का, तो हम लोगों का यहाँ रहने का क्या मतलब रह जाएगा। हम लोग तो उन्हीं की बात को उठाते, जनता की बात को उठाते, और जनता के कई लाख वोटरों का अगर नाम काट दोगे तो ये चलने वाला नहीं है। हम लोग चुप बैठने वाले नहीं हैं। ये आप वोटर का केवल अधिकार ही नहीं छीन रहे, उसका अस्तित्व मिटा रहे हैं आप। यानी जो वोटर है वो देश का नागरिक कौन होगा नहीं होगा ये चुनाव आयोग तय नहीं करेगा। ये तय करने वाला भारत सरकार गृह मंत्रालय है। लेकिन अगर आप कहते हैं कि ये फलना वोट नहीं देगा तो इस पर तो आपत्ति होगी, क्योंकि यही वोटर जो है लगातार कई चुनाव में वोट दिए, इसी वोट से जो है प्रधानमंत्री 3 बार जो है प्रधानमंत्री बने हैं। तो ये सवाल खड़ा होता है। तो हम लोग चाहते थे कि भाई इस पर विशेष तौर पे चर्चा हो, और हम सब लोग अभी अध्यक्ष महोदय से भी मिले हैं। हमने मांग की है, जैसे शुरू में हम खड़े होकर के मांगे, अब बड़ी विनम्रता से हमने मांग की थी सरकार से और अध्यक्ष महोदय से कि इस पे जो है चर्चा कराई जाए। लेकिन चर्चा आखिर क्या कारण है कि भाई चर्चा नहीं कराया जा रहा? अगर इलेक्शन कमीशन का इसमें है तो लेकिन वोटरवा तो बिहार के वोटर का ना कट रहा है, और हम उसी वोट से अगर चुन के आते हैं तो उनकी बात अगर हम यहाँ नहीं कहेंगे, बिहार में जो सबसे बड़ा लोकतंत्र का मंदिर है, अब वहीं से जो है आप जो है पूरे लोकतंत्र को ख़त्म करना चाह रहे हैं। आखिर क्या कारण है कि भाजपा या सत्ता दल के लोग, जदयू के लोग इस विषय पे क्यों नहीं बोल रहे? क्या उनके वोटर्स नहीं है? ये विषय चाहे हमारे वोटर हो या उनके वोटर हो, ये उसका नहीं है। अगर एक भी वोटर के साथ अगर अन्याय होता है, उसका नाम काटा जाता है, तो आप समझ सकते हैं कि इससे बड़ा अपराध कुछ नहीं हो सकता। तो हम लोगों ने मांग की है, और हम तो आप लोगों के माध्यम से मुख्यमंत्री जी से भी मांग करते हैं। हालांकि मुख्यमंत्री जी को पता ही नहीं था कि काला कुर्ता हम लोग क्यों पहन के आए। उनको ये भी नहीं पता था कि भाई हम लोग हंगामा किस लिए कर रहे हैं। अब आप समझ सकते हैं, इतने ज़ोर शोर से अगर हम लोग अपनी बात को रख रहे हैं तो भी अभी मुख्यमंत्री जी को पता नहीं है कि कारण क्या है। हम आप लोगों के माध्यम से सत्ता पक्ष के नेताओं से, चाहे कोई दल के नेता हो, कि मुख्यमंत्री हो, उप मुख्यमंत्री लोग हों, उन सब से भी आग्रह है, आप अपना एजेंडा तो चालू किए हुए हैं, हम लोग का तो पूरा सहयोग रहता है। लेकिन अगर SIR पर अगर 1 घंटे की भी चर्चा हो जाए तो इसमें कौन से बड़ी बात आ जाएगी? 1 घंटा एक्सटेंड कर दिया जाएगा। तो इसमें हमको लगता है कि हमने स्पीकर अध्यक्ष महोदय से बात की है। हालांकि उनकी अपनी सीमाएं हैं, दायरे हैं। उन्होंने बोला है कि सत्ता पक्ष के लोगों से बात करेंगे, लेकिन अधिकार अगर देखा जाए तो एक बैठक हमने बोला कि कम से कम एक बैठक तो आप जो है बुला लीजिए, ताकि कार्य मंथना का, ताकि हम लोग इस विषय को जो है रख सके, प्रोसीडिंग में भी रख सके, और सब दल के लोग रहेंगे। कमेटी इसीलिए ना बनती है कि कोई अगर विवाद है, कोई बात आ गई, इमरजेंसी हो, तो कार्य मंथना की समिति है, बैठक में चर्चा होती है। कम से कम इतना तो हो ही सकता है।
अब आगे क्या करेंगे?
देखिए, हम लोग तो कोर्ट में भी लड़ रहे हैं, सड़क पे भी लड़ रहे हैं, सदन में भी लड़ रहे हैं। जहाँ मौका मिल रहा है हम लोग जो है लड़ रहे हैं। लेकिन बेशर्म हो चुकी है चुनाव आयोग, एक बार भी प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस नहीं की। सुप्रीम कोर्ट के फटकार के बाद भी, सलाह के बाद भी अभी तक क्लियर नहीं की है कि आधार की क्या भूमिका रहेगी, वो सलाह मानेंगे कि नहीं मानेंगे, राशन कार्ड की क्या भूमिका रहेगी, कहीं कुछ नहीं। इतना बड़ा ड्राइव चल रहा है इलेक्शन कमीशन का 2003 के बाद, पहले और कहीं नहीं हुआ देश में। पहले 2003 के बाद पहला बिहार ही जहाँ हो रहा है, फिर भी एक प्रेस कॉन्फ्रेंस तक नहीं। आखिर क्यों, क्या कारण है? तो ये तो शक तो पैदा होता ही है।
उपराष्ट्रपति का अचानक किसी तरह से हुआ है, क्या लगता है आपको?
देखिए, विषय अब उनका है, वो लोग जाने, इस पर हमको कोई टिप्पणी नहीं करना। कौन उपराष्ट्रपति बनेगा, कौन हटा है, ये हमारा विषय नहीं है। हमारा विषय है कि एक भी बिहार का वोटर हटना नहीं चाहिए, ये उससे बड़ा मुद्दा है।
ये लास्ट सदन में कल भी हंगामा होगा ऐसे ही? उनकी सदस्यता अभी तक स्पीकर महोदय ने नहीं ली, अब कब लेंगे? 2 दिन बचा सदन में ऐसे ही हंगामा होगा?
ऐसे ही चल रहा। अब देख लो ना कानून क्या है, कहाँ संविधान है, तभी ना हम लोग बोलते हैं लोग लोकतंत्र संविधान का धजिया उड़ा रहा है। विप का क्या मतलब रहेगा? फिर विप का क्या मतलब रहेगा?
और कल बैठक नहीं होती तो क्या फिर कल हंगामा करेंगे, आप अपनी बातें रखेंगे?
हम लोग तय करेंगे, जो होगा आप लोगों को दिखा के करेंगे।
चलिए चलिए।
All right, there on the screen you just heard the former Deputy Chief Minister of Bihar and RJD leader Tejasvi Yadav. They're cornering the Nitish-led state government over pressing issues, including the special intensive revision that is underway in Bihar and also public safety concern. He was also wearing black, just like other RJD and Congress leaders there on the screen, launching their protest just outside the Bihar Assembly today. And with this, we're taking a very short break. Coming up on the other side, President of India has accepted Jagdeep Dhankar's resignation. Remember, Dhankar had written to the President last night citing health issues. F-35B fighter jet has flown to Australia after being stranded in the country for nearly 5 weeks. We'll get you more details on these two stories after this very short break. Stay with us.
दादी के हाथों का जादू और खुशबू से महकता घर, माँ की मुस्कुराहट और खाने की सुगंध। MDH गरम मसाला,
क्योंकि हर रिश्ता है स्वाद से जुड़ा।
आधे बाउल दही में 4 चम्मच MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला डाला, स्टर करो, पुदीना चटनी तैयार। MDH चटनी पुदीना मसाला।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
Republic Jack Oliwall studio. Stay tuned for all the breaking news and updates. I'm Akanksha Khajuria. Let's get started.
अब छोलिया हो या लोबिया, सफेद चने या काले चने,
सब कुछ मजेदार बने।
MDH।
From Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
A very good afternoon, viewers. You're watching Live and Breaking, and I am Rakshita Mishra with you. There is politics raging over Jagdeep Dhankar's resignation as the Vice President. Viewers, we'll get you each and every reaction coming in and each and every angle and what happens next. First, the headlines. ECI files affidavit in the top court. Over the special intensive revision in Bihar, says ECI is obligated to verify the eligibility of the voters. First batch of Apache attack helicopters reaches India. Choppers to be deployed in Jodhpur. Indian Air Force to retire the MiG-21 fighter jets this September after over 60 years in service. President of India accepts Jagdeep Dhankar's resignation. Dhankar wrote to President last night. A big win for Yogi Adityanath government. Top court directs all hotel owners along the Kanwar Yatra route to display their licenses and registration certificate. British Royal Navy's F-35B fighter flies out to Australia after being stranded for nearly a month at Kerala's Thiruvananthapuram airport. The Parliament dominated by debates over the voter list revision in Bihar. Opposition parties have expressed strong opposition to it. So, okay, this is happening outside the assembly. Viewing the exercise as a threat to democratic rights, they have submitted adjournment notices. They also held a protest inside the assembly. As you can see, they are holding a protest. You can see that they are raising slogans, and this is happening right inside in Parliament premises. The SIR Rao has reached the Supreme Court. Remember, Election Commission has defended its right to seek the citizenship proof. And there you have visuals of the opposition members. And my colleague Harsha is in fact there. She's trying to speak to the leaders from the opposition. Listen in.
Clearly see that opposition leaders are protesting here. Rahul Gandhi, Priyanka Gandhi, DMK leaders, Akhilesh Yadav himself, all of them are in the attendance here at Makar Dwar, at the stairs of Makar Dwar. All the MPs have the placard in their hand on the special intensive revision which is happening by Election Commission of India in the state of Bihar before assembly election. All the MPs here are demanding that SIR should not happen. They are holding the placard stating quit SIR, and they also have been stating that continuously the voters' name is being cut out. The voters' name is being cut out from the Bihar voter list. There are many voters whose name has been cut out, and they are also raising a lot of questions on it. We see that continuously how many members of parliament are here. This is the Makar Dwar of the parliament, and it is the outside Makar Dwar after the Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, both houses of the parliament got adjourned. This protest is right now taking place against Election Commission of India. Harsha Chandwani reporting for Republic TV from Parliament. The opposition leaders who are standing at the stairs of Makar Dwar now protesting against the government. As we show you in the visuals, these are the visuals where we clearly see that how opposition leaders are right now protesting with the placards in their hand. Now these are the visuals from the Makar Dwar of the parliament. The protest which was earlier supposed to happen at around 10 o'clock in the morning now is being done at Makar Dwar of the parliament after both houses of the parliament, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, got adjourned. The placard clearly states SIR, which is the special intensive revision being done by Election Commission of India in Bihar. So all the opposition leaders have now raised the issue of special investigation revision and the voting issue in Bihar, and this is the major issue as we see all the opposition parties from Congress, from Samajwadi Party, RJD, DMK, all the opposition parties leaders including the Aam Aadmi parties right now, all the MPs are standing at the Makar Dwar of the parliament with placards in their hand, demanding that there should be unbiased voting revision in the state of Bihar ahead of the elections in Bihar, and they're stating that special intensive revision is completely biased and voters' name is being cut out from the Bihar list.
Protests happening outside the Bihar Assembly as well on this. It is RJD leader Tejasvi Yadav leading these protests. He has also issued a statement on this survey and has said that all opposition members will unite to denounce this move by the ECI. He's called the matter to be discussed in the parliament as well. Listen to Tejasvi Yadav.
जो बिहार का सबसे बड़ा अगर लोकतंत्र का अगर कोई मंदिर है तो बिहार विधानसभा है और लोकतंत्र की जननी बिहार है। अगर वहीं से लोकतंत्र को ख़त्म किया जा रहा है तो हम सब लोगों का कर्तव्य बनता है, चाहे पक्ष हो विपक्ष हो, चाहे अध्यक्ष महोदय हो, सब लोग वोटर जो है, जनता जो है, मालिक जो है वही चुनते हैं। जब उनका ही अधिकार छीन लिया जाएगा वोटर देने का तो हम लोगों का यहाँ रहने का क्या मतलब रह जाएगा। हम लोग तो उन्हीं की बात को उठाते, जनता की बात को उठाते, और जनता के कई लाख वोटरों का अगर नाम काट दोगे तो ये चलने वाला नहीं है। हम लोग चुप बैठने वाले नहीं हैं। ये आप वोटर का केवल अधिकार ही नहीं छीन रहे, उसका अस्तित्व मिटा रहे हैं आप। यानी जो वोटर है वो देश का नागरिक कौन होगा नहीं होगा ये चुनाव आयोग तय नहीं करेगा, ये तय करने वाला भारत सरकार गृह मंत्रालय है। लेकिन अगर आप कहते हैं कि ये फलना वोट नहीं देगा तो इस पे तो आपत्ति होगी, क्योंकि यही वोटर जो है लगातार कई चुनाव में वोट दिए।
Alright viewers, so this is MEA now. We have breaking news coming in. The Ministry of External Affairs has spoken on the agenda for Prime Minister's visit to United Kingdom. It's not just the free trade deal, but also what's important here will be the extradition of other fugitive offenders. Remember, big success for Indian diplomacy was witnessed after Tahabur Rana was extradited, and now they're looking for more of these criminals. And these are the fugitive economic offenders that will be in focus, who often take refuge in Britain, in United Kingdom. So the lens, of course, is on those fugitives, and MEA has spoken out on that. In fact, there will be a dialogue on the fugitive economic offenders, and their extradition will be part of the discussion. Khalistani extremism also part of that. Take a listen into what Vikram Misri had to say.
The case, there are a few questions related to fugitives from Indian law and Indian justice in the UK. These have been a matter of discussion between both sides, and we have continued to make the case for these fugitives to be rendered to India. Obviously, there is a legal process that such requests and such issues go through in the other country, and we continue to follow up very closely with our partners in the UK on these matters. ऐसी बात नहीं है कि भारत में लोग नहीं लाए गए हैं। आप जानते हैं रिसेंटली तहव्वुर राना को एक्स्ट्राडाइट किया गया था, उसमें भी ऐसी चीजें थी। ये काम हम कर सकते हैं, ये कोई बड़ी बात नहीं।
So that was Vikram Misri, Foreign Secretary, now speaking on Prime Minister's visit, and he was saying that, of course, if Tahabur Rana can be extradited, one of the others, and of course, it's a big statement coming in on the Indian fugitives, and I was talking about the wide-ranging discussions that will be taking place between K.S. Starmer and Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and there will be an entire gamut of the talks and on several topics, several issues that includes the regional and issues of regional and global importance, that includes those on Indian fugitives. And that's the breaking news we are getting in right now. We'll try and get you more updates as to what is on agenda. In fact, Vikram Misri has said that these have been a matter of discussion between both the sides, and we continue to make the case for these fugitives to be rendered to India. There is a legal process. Such requests, such issues go through in the other country. We continue to follow up very closely with our partners in the UK on these matters, says Foreign Secretary of India Vikram Misri. He has just made that big statement on the fugitives in United Kingdom. Remember, there are several from, of course, in Europe. In Europe, we have Nirav Modi, you have Mehul Choksi, the PNB scam, and there is Vijay Mallya, of course, who resides in United Kingdom. He's a citizen of United Kingdom, and of course, there is lens on the case. Their extradition also, they have been suffering setbacks after setbacks in the courts of late. And let's take a listen in once again to what Vikram Misri has said.
There are a few questions related to fugitives from Indian law and Indian justice in the UK. These have been a matter of discussion between both sides, and we have continued to make the case for these fugitives to be rendered to India. Obviously, there is a legal process that such requests and such issues go through in the other country, and we continue to follow up very closely with our partners in the UK on these matters. ऐसी बात नहीं है कि भारत में लोग नहीं लाए गए हैं. आप जानते हैं रिसेंटली तहव्वुर राना को एक्स्ट्राडाइट किया गया था, उसमें भी ऐसी चीज़ें थी. ये काम हम कर सकते हैं, ये कोई बड़ी बात नहीं है. There are a few questions.
All right, my colleague Soumya is joining us live on the broadcast for more. Soumya, well, it's an important statement coming in from the Foreign Secretary, isn't it, on the fugitive economic offenders who are in Europe, especially the likes of Vijay Mallya, who are in the United Kingdom, and that is possibly going to be on the agenda when the Prime Minister meets his UK counterpart. Soumya.
It was, of course, a diplomatic win because the Foreign Secretary has clearly cited the case of Thakur Rana. So, for us, for the Indians with the diplomatic channels, it was a big win. It was a big win with regards to foreign policy as well when we extradited Thakur Rana earlier this year. So, and now there are many such cases with regards to Mehul Choksi there in Belgium, and then there's Nihal Modi there in the US. And the hearing was also scheduled last week for his extradition request raised by India. So it is being seen as a big diplomatic win, and many such cases that are pending at the moment. So on that same line, the Foreign Secretary has made this statement because, as you know, we have several high-profile Indian fugitives, including Vijay Mallya, as you mentioned, of course, Nirav Modi, and Sanjay Bhandari also. He sought the refuge in the UK, leading to ongoing extradition efforts by Indian authorities. So these individuals are facing charges, and India, through diplomatic channels, has made various efforts so that these can be brought back to the Indian soils, and then a fair trial can happen in these cases. So this statement, this huge statement, came on these lines, Rachita.
Of course, and in fact, we've seen that the Prime Minister's meeting with the UK Prime Minister even last year during the G20 summit in Brazil. On the sidelines, in fact, there was news about him urging the UK Prime Minister to extradite the fugitive Indian businessmen. And it seems that once again is going to be on agenda. What other issues will be on agenda? We understand that even the Khalistan extremism will be part of the talks.
Yes, Rakshita, the Prime Minister is slated to his visit to UK. So, of course, there's a lot of things on agenda. As mentioned earlier, the extradition issues can be brought up, the financial resources as well, the extradition treaty as well. So these things are on the agenda as we talk as of now with regards to Prime Minister's visit to the United Kingdom.
Right, Soumya, thanks so much for joining us with those details coming in on that story. We will shift our focus to Manipur now, where the security forces continue their crackdown on the militancy in Imphal and Kangpokpi districts. Here's a quick report.
Two operations conducted yesterday in Tengkai Khulan village, Mawing village and Changbong village of the Kangpokpi district in Manipur. Combined security forces recovered huge cache of arms, 37 numbers of different arms and 156 ammunition, along with 4 hand grenades were also recovered by the security forces. Acting on the inputs, the security forces also conducted operation in different areas. In an operation in Imphal East, 4 active cadres of UPPK were also arrested by the security forces. The security forces also arrested 3 active cadres of KCP from Indo-Myanmar border near border pillar number 79 of Teng Nopal district. The security forces continue their operations in violence-affected districts of Manipur in order to bring back the state to normalcy.
And we have some more breaking news coming in. The meeting of the Business Advisory Committee of the Rajya Sabha will be held today at 5:30 p.m. Chaired by Deputy Chairperson Harivansh, and the meeting was rescheduled after Rajya Sabha Leader of the House JP Nadda and Parliamentary Affairs Minister Kiren Rijiju did not attend the session yesterday evening. Now this meeting will be chaired by the Rajya Sabha Deputy Chairperson. Now viewers, why is this important? Because this is said to be, as far as those reports that have been doing the rounds, that the absence of the 2 ministers mentioned, Nadda and Rijiju, was also something that did not go down well with Jagdeep Dhankar, who has now submitted his resignation. Nevertheless, there's a new schedule, there's a new timing. It's going to be held today, 5:30 p.m., the Rajya Sabha BAC meeting. And that is the breaking news we have right now. Deputy Chairperson Harivansh to convene the meeting. Operation Sindoor discussion will also be starting at 5:30 p.m. And this is coming in as both the houses of the Parliament, the Lok Sabha and the Rajya Sabha, the Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha have been adjourned till tomorrow. So this is the breaking news. We have Rajya Sabha BAC to decide the timings on discussion of Operation Sindoor as well. So that's very important because there has been immense ruckus. There has been absolute ruckus and disruption in the Parliament. The opposition has been demanding a discussion on Operation Sindoor. But what we have witnessed in the past 1.5 days is it's only disruption, no debate, but more of disruption. And there has been utter chaos and ruckus in both the assemblies that have been witnessed. All right, viewers, now we will shift our focus to the other stories. Ladies and gentlemen, it was the F-35B that was stranded for over a month on Indian soil, a $110 million stealth fighter, one of the most advanced jets in the world. The British F-35B that made the emergency landing in Thiruvananthapuram finally took off today. After multiple failed repair attempts and the arrival of a special UK aviation team, the jet is now airbound again. Republic TV brings the exclusive visuals of the moment the Royal aircraft soared back into action.
The British F-35B stealth fighter jet, which was grounded at Thiruvananthapuram International Airport for more than a month, finally took off this morning. The powerful aircraft, valued at over $110 million, had made an emergency landing on the 14th of June due to a technical problem.
The jet has gone to the far end of the runway till soon. With this right now not in visibility, but in a few moments from now we'll be able to see the jet cruising past. Yes, it is now cruising past. You can see the F-35B Lightning right now in full throttle. It is going to take off into the grey monsoon skies of Kerala. You can see these are the exclusive visuals that we are bringing in. The jet is finally taking off. A high throttle jet. The sound that is deafening, the maddening sound, the deafening sound of a sophisticated aircraft. saying goodbye to Kerala, saying goodbye to India, giving all the support rendered by the government of India and all the airport authority. Finally, the F-35B2 Lightning has gone back. It will be going to Darwin Airport in Australia, where and then eventually will join the mothership, which is the Prince of Wales.
The exact moment of the jet's takeoff was captured exclusively by Republic as the stealth fighter jet soared into the sky, ending its unexpected stay in India. Over the past 5 weeks, several efforts have been made to take the fighter jet back to its home country. The 5th generation stealth fighter is part of the UK's HMS Prince of Wales Carrier Strike Group, which is currently operating in the Indo-Pacific and recently completed a joint maritime exercise with the Indian Navy. After multiple attempts by aviation engineers, including a 21-member British personnel team flown into Kerala, the pricey Royal aircraft was relocated to a hangar. Reports suggested that the jet would be disintegrated and taken back in the majestic C-17 Globemaster. But now, after a month and week since its arrival, the F-35B is on its way home. The British High Commission has issued a statement acknowledging that the repair works undertaken by their personnel was successfully completed and that they remain thankful to the Indian authorities for extending support. From emergency landing to takeoff, the stealth fighter jet now moves on.
Now, World War II era relics, including a hand grenade, bullets and a military bottle, were unearthed by construction workers at a sewerage project site in Imphal of Manipur. Now, the items were found nearly 2.5 feet underground while digging for a pillar foundation. Now, believed to have been used during the Second World War, the recovered relics were promptly handed over to the officials from the Historical Activity Department, and all items have been secured. Further details are available. So these are World War II relics, viewers, that have been discovered there from Imphal in Manipur, as there was some, because of a sewerage project, there was some digging that was taking place, and now you can see visuals of those relics that have been recovered from Imphal in Manipur. Construction workers stumbled upon these relics, and my colleague Johnson, in fact, has filed this report from Imphal.
Today at around 7:30 a.m. in the morning, some of the used weapons and used remains of the Second World War have been discovered by the construction workers in the area of Langtabal, Imphal West. This site is for the construction project of sewage project. So I will show you the area where those remains, those archaeological remains have been found. Those items were found near this pillar when this area was dug about 2.5 feet under. Those recovered items were brought back by the archaeological team and officials of the construction department. This is Dr. Rambam reporting from Imphal for Republic.
सिसोड़ है जो आज मॉर्निंग में हमने काम करने के लिए आया था और जो एक बोतल मिला सबसे पहले और निकाल के हमने देख लिया तो कुछ सामान है तो हमें पता और जब भी वो देखने के अंदर में कुछ करने के लिए तो ये निकाल के एक सामान निकाल के आया और एक क्या बोला तो एक हैंड ग्रेनेड है और एक ग्रेनेड था और दूसरा आइटम है उसके बाद
सुबह में रहते
अराउंड 9 AM में रहते
कितने टोटल वेपन है
वेपन्स तो सिर्फ 2 ही है और ये बुलेट है ना तो सारी है जो 303 राइफल का है जो हमने मिला।
कितने साल आपको लगता है कितने साल पुराना हो सकता है?
अराउंड सेकेंड वर्ल्ड वॉर में 1941 में 1 year above।
वो जो सामान है कौन लेके गए?
और जो हमने वो जो ये MU सब स्टूडेंट वाले क्या आया, उसने रिपोर्ट दिया और कौवा पुलिस स्टेशन में चला गया सबको लेके।
Major crackdown on cross-border narco smuggling. The border security force, in coordination with Punjab police, apprehended 2 Indian smugglers and recovered 2 drones loaded with heroin along the Punjab border. The arrests were made during a late-night raid based on specific intelligence that was received by the BSF. Operation led to the seizure of 2 motorcycles and a weighing machine as well. So 2 smugglers have been held, and heroin has been seized by the BSF in Punjab. So this, in fact, my colleague Gursimran Singh joins us live on the broadcast. For more, Gursimran, we've seen that this has been going on for a long time, and so has the crackdown against it. And this is again an important achievement, we can say, for the BSF, for the agencies, that these smugglers have been caught.
Yes, a major success coming in a joint operation for the Border Security Force in the Punjab as well as the Punjab Police. As in the 3 separate operations, they have apprehended 2 Indian smugglers from the Firozpur along with the 2 bikes and the weighing machine that they have recovered. In a separate operation that was carried out in the Fazilka, the Border Security Force has recovered a Chinese 1 DJI Mavic 3 drone along with 500 grams of heroin, the international market worth of which is more than 2 crore rupees. Similarly, another operation was launched in the border area of the Amritsar district in which the BSF has recovered similar DJI Mavic 3 drone along with 500 grams of the heroin, the international market worth of which is more than 2 crore rupees. So in total, 2 bikes, 2 smugglers apprehended, 2 drones recovered, and 1 kilogram of heroin has been recovered in the overnight operations that have been carried out by the Border Security Force Punjab Frontier along with the Punjab Police. And now with this recovery, the total number of attempts that are increasing with each passing day, they are also being given a befitting reply with anti-drone systems that have been put in place by the Border Security Force, and all the drones that are attempting to sneak in into the Indian territory, they are being brought down, and the huge quantity of narcotics that is being sent to destroy the youth of Punjab is being recovered by the Border Security Force with Punjab Police.
Right. Thanks so much, Gursimran Singh, for joining us with those videos coming in on that story. Right, with that, we shift our focus to other story. But before that, we'll slip into a very, very short break, viewers. We'll get you more updates on what's happening on the election, the showdown over the voter list in Bihar, the revision survey in Bihar. There's been massive ruckus in the assembly and outside the assembly as well.
अब छोलिया हो या लोबिया, सफेद चने या काले चने,
सब कुछ मजेदार बने।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
I hereby rule that RSS is an organization that has full constitutional rights to participate in the development journey of this nation. This organization
आधे बाउल दही में 4 चम्मच MDA चटनी पुदीना मसाला डाला, स्टर करो, पुदीना चटनी तैयार। MDA चटनी पुदीना मसाला।
इसको घर पे लगाओगे तो शादी का तो पता नहीं, पर घर पक्का नहीं टूटेगा।
रुंगटा नहीं तो घर स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं। रुंगटा स्टील TMT बार एकदम सॉलिड।
पहाड़ों में एक हाइकिंग शिप भी बन सकती है।
Massive push for extradition of fugitives. MEA says they're pushing for fugitives Nirav Modi and Malia, who were to be rendered to India.
Related to fugitives from Indian law and Indian justice in the UK. These have been a matter of discussion between both sides. The case for these fugitives to be rendered to India.
Opposition MLAs hold protests in Bihar Assembly over voter list revision row. First batch of Apache attack helicopters reaches India. Choppers to be deployed in Jodhpur. Indian Air Force to retire the MiG-21 fighter jets this September after 60 years in service. President of India accepts Jagdeep Dhankar's resignation as the Vice President. Dhankar had written to the President last night. The politics ensues over the resignation. And it's a big win for Yogi government. Top court directs all hotel owners along the Kamar Yatra route to display license and registration certificate.
And there's breaking news coming in on the Khalistani extremism in the United Kingdom. At the conference, Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri has elaborated on it. The breaking news that's coming in, he has said that the presence of Khalistani extremists and bodies that are close to these people is something that we have brought to the attention of our partners in the United Kingdom. We will continue to do so. India raises the Khalistani issue with United Kingdom. He also goes on to say this is a matter of concern not only to us, but it should be a matter for our partners as well, because this impacts social cohesion and social order in that country as well. This is the big story that we're getting you. And Vikram Misri, Foreign Secretary, has also stated that India raises the Khalistani issue with the United Kingdom. This is also specifically important as the Prime Minister is to visit UK soon. And PM Modi is going to also be stressing on all key issues. This is possibly going to be one of them, as we are seeing Prime Minister Modi is also going to be in the UK, to be visiting UK and Maldives from tomorrow. Let's go across and listen to what the Foreign Secretary has said.
Issue of the presence of Khalistani extremists and bodies close to these people is again something that we have brought to the attention of our partners in the UK. We will continue to do so. This is a matter of concern not only to us, but it should be a matter of concern to our partners as well, because this impacts social cohesion and social order in these other countries as well.
And also we're getting breaking news that's coming in. This time it's the parliament that was dominated by debates over the voter list revision in Bihar. Now the opposition parties have expressed strong opposition. Viewers and exercise, they say, is a threat to democratic rights and have submitted adjournment notices. They also held a protest inside the assembly. Watch this.
Clearly see that opposition leaders are protesting here. Rahul Gandhi, Priyanka Gandhi, DMK leaders, Akhilesh Yadav himself, all of them are in the attendance here at Magar Dwar, at the stairs of Magar Dwar. All the MPs have the placard in their hand on the special intensive revision which is happening by Election Commission of India in the state of Bihar before assembly election. All the MPs here are demanding that SIR should not happen. They are holding the placard stating quit SIR. SIR, and they also have been stating that continuously the voters' name is being cut out. The voters' name is being cut out from the Bihar voter list. There are many voters whose name has been cut out, and they're also raising a lot of questions on it. We see that continuously how many members of parliament are here. This is the Makar Dwar of the parliament, and it is the outside Makar Dwar after the Lok Sabha and Raj Sabha, both houses of the parliament got adjourned. This protest is right now taking place against Election Commission of India. Harsha Janwani reporting for Republic TV from Parliament. The opposition leaders who are standing at the stairs of Makar Dwar now protesting against the government. As we show you in the visuals, these are the visuals where we clearly see that how opposition leaders are right now protesting with the placards in their hand. Now these are the visuals from the Makar Dwar of the parliament. The protest which was earlier supposed to happen at around 10 o'clock in the morning now is being done at Makar Dwar of the parliament after the both houses of the parliament, Lok Sabha and Raj Sabha, got adjourned. The placard clearly states SIR, which is the special intensive revision being done by Election Commission of India in Bihar. So all the opposition leaders have now raised the issue of special investigation revision and the voting issue in Bihar, and this is the major issue. As we see, all the opposition parties from Congress, from Samajwadi Party, RJD, DMK, all the opposition parties leaders including the Aam Aadmi parties, right now all the MPs are standing at the Makar Dwar of the parliament with placards in their hand, demanding that there should be unbiased voting revision in the state of Bihar ahead of the elections in Bihar, and they're stating that special intensive revision is completely biased and voters' name is being cut out from the Bihar list.
Meanwhile, it's RJD leader Tejasvi Yadav who's issued his latest response on the controversy, calling on all opposition members to denounce this move by the Election Commission of India. He's also called for the matter to be discussed in the parliament.
जो बिहार का सबसे बड़ा अगर लोकतंत्र का अगर कोई मंदिर है तो बिहार विधानसभा है और लोकतंत्र की जननी बिहार है। अगर वहीं से लोकतंत्र को ख़त्म किया जा रहा है तो हम सब लोगों का कर्तव्य बनता है, चाहे पक्ष हो विपक्ष हो, चाहे अध्यक्ष महोदय हो, सब लोग वोटर जो है, जनता जो है, मालिक जो है वही चुनते हैं। जब उनका ही अधिकार छीन लिया जाएगा वोटर देने का, तो हम लोगों का यहाँ रहने का क्या मतलब रह जाएगा। हम लोग तो उन्हीं की बात को उठाते, जनता की बात को उठाते, और जनता के कई लाख वोटरों का अगर नाम काट दोगे तो ये चलने वाला नहीं है। हम लोग चुप बैठने वाले नहीं हैं। ये आप वोटर का केवल अधिकार ही नहीं छीन रहे, उसका अस्तित्व मिटा रहे हैं आप। यानी जो वोटर है वो देश का नागरिक कौन होगा नहीं होगा ये चुनाव आयोग तय नहीं करेगा, ये तय करने वाला भारत सरकार गृह मंत्रालय है। लेकिन अगर आप कहते हैं कि ये फलना वोट नहीं देगा तो इस पे तो आपत्ति होगी, क्योंकि यही वोटर जो है लगातार कई चुनाव में वोट दिए।
The Amarnath Yatra is in full swing amid heightened security. Multiple agencies including JKP, CRPF, ITBP, Army and the Shrine Board operate together under one roof, ensuring seamless communication and quick response. Our colleague Zeenat Fazal brings you this report.
As we are covering the Amarnath Yatra, and this is from the Baltal Excess. This is one of the shortest routes when you take route to Amarnath Cave. In fact, I'm here at the surveillance room, and this is one such room where you get the real-time information about the people who are in your surroundings, the people who are taking care of your security, the people who are moving towards the Amarnath Cave, and those who are doing the darshan. As per Jammu and Kashmir Police, the screens have been divided into 12 parts. Then in each screen you see different kind of figures, and there you have a numbering that tells you that where exactly a help has to go, whether a person who is in the surrounding, if at all he comes with an international history, he is an OGW or trying to create a disruption, he will be immediately, the police will be immediately alerted, because the facial recognition system has been installed where you have have the images of around more than 3 lakh people. So if any person who is who's a history cheater, the siren will blow, it will alert, and he will be detained immediately. Then you see the people with the backpacks, they go inside these tents because most of them are yatris, but still if there any suspicious movement is observed, again an alert will be sounded. Then you see the tracks, the buses, in case any person tries to do some hanky-panky with any of the bus that has been stationed, because this is showing you, giving a full view of the bus yard where the travelers, they are using these bus because they are the registered yatri. So everything gets monitored, and even the darshan, the people who are doing the darshan, doing the puja, the real time is their visual can be seen, and if at all there is an untoward incident, immediately a response, immediately help will be sent. So that also tells you how the security of the yatris, the locals, and even the pony walas or these palki walas who are the service providers of this entire yatra, which will culminate on the 9th of August. So all kind of help, all kind of monitoring is taking place from this very place.
And this breaking news coming in, ED officials along with former Chief Minister Bhupesh Bagel's son Chaitanya, who was arrested, have arrived after his custody has ended in connection with the liquor case. They're at the court in Raipur. ED says the investigation has revealed Chaitanya Bagel was arrested in state multi-crore liquor scam case that took place between 2019 to 2022. They're in the Raipur court now. He was in receipt of proceeds of crime worth 16 crore rupees. We're also being told and given details that the ED has a watertight case made out against them. I was also told in details that were given to us by certain lawyers that even though ED has demanded this, the details that are there with the enforcement directorate are watertight. They have unimpeachable evidence that part of monies generated through liquor scam was routed through Chaitanya Bagel's real estate venture through liquor businessman and accused Trilok Singh Dhillon. I'm going to go across to Rakshita to get more details. Rakshita, this is a multi-crore liquor scam case in Chhattisgarh now. Chaitanya Bagel, who was arrested, has been brought to the Raipur court. What can we expect today?
Well, of course, we've seen that there has been some big claims made by the Enforcement Directorate, really serious claims and revelations by the Enforcement Directorate during the custody of Chaitanya Bagel. Now, what we know as per the ED is that there was that this scam was taking place between 2019 to 2022, and the proceeds was in receipt of proceeds of crime worth 16 crore 70 lakh rupees, and he had used, in fact, his real estate firms to intermingle the POC. And it has also been revealed that there have been, of course, multiple issues that have been reported so far. And what we understand is that the Congress is also trying to, Congress is also right now, what we know is that holding protests as we speak, as they did on the day of the arrest. And the minister, the finance minister, O.P. Chaudhary, there's a lot of politics that is happening. Remember, Bhupesh Bagel had said that this is only political vendetta that is happening via the agencies. He had made serious allegations against the centre. Meanwhile, Chhattisgarh Minister of Finance has said that if the Honourable Court is not granting bail, that means there is evidence, and just to hide corruption and save his son, Bhupesh Bagel is making such claims that he has been harassing the public and he is doing politics, which is very wrong here. And we expect, of course, there are a lot of challenges, and ED will be seeking further custody of Chaitanya Bagel. That's what we understand right now, Rhythm.
Thank you, Rakshita, for giving us those details. This is a big coup that the ED has got. It was an investigation started in 2023. It's been going on. It's been called a witch hunt by Bagel, the Chief Minister, former Chief Minister, but now we have to see what the ED unearths. Let's also take a look at what's making headlines across the nation.
Bharat 1 Minute brought to you by Canara Bank. Together we can.
The first batch of Apache attack advanced combat helicopters for the Indian Army has reached India. The choppers will be deployed in Jodhpur base by the Indian Army. In the competition for cleanliness across India, Chandigarh has now ranked second. A retired DIG in Punjab Police, Inderjeet Sidhu, engaged in the selfless service of cleaning his society at the age of 87. A massive fire broke out at a plastic factory located in Vapi in the Valsad district of Gujarat. No details have been reported, no casualties have been reported either. And the Nagpur airport received a bomb threat via email, triggering a massive search operation by security agencies. The threat was received through an email sent around 7:30 a.m. The message claimed that an ID bomb had been placed inside a cigarette packet and could explode at any time. No suspicious object had been found. The investigations continue. Also breaking news coming in, Central Industrial Security Force has uncovered what is believed to be the largest ever gold smuggling attempt at Surat International Airport. A total of 28 kilograms of gold paste was found expertly strapped around the midsections and upper torso of a middle-aged Indian couple arriving on our Air India flight IX-174 from Dubai. The duo Gujarati residents were caught with the gold. A total of 16 kg gold paste was with the woman and 12 kg with the man. Based on concentration levels of the paste, officials estimate the pure gold yield is to be over 20 kg. It's likely the biggest gold haul in the airport's history. Central Industrial Security Force uncovers this as the largest ever gold smuggling attempt at the Surat International Airport. A total of 28 kilograms of the gold paste, and we can see on our screens the pictures, was found. It was expertly strapped around the midsections and upper torso of a middle-aged Indian couple, and based on the concentration levels of the paste, we are now being told officials estimate this pure gold yield to be over 20 kilograms. Shifting our focus, viewers, to Manipur, where the security forces continue their crackdown on militancy in Imphal and Kangpokpi districts. Here's that quick report.
Two operations conducted yesterday in Tengkai Khulan village, Mawing village and Changbong village of the Kangpokpi district in Manipur. Combined security forces recovered huge cache of arms, 37 numbers of different arms and 156 ammunition, along with 4 hand grenades were also recovered by the security forces. Acting on the inputs, the security forces also conducted operation in different areas. In an operation in Imphal East, 4 active cadres of UPPK were also arrested by the security forces. The security forces also arrested 3 active cadres of KCP from Indo-Myanmar border near border pillar number 79 of Tengnopal district. The security forces continue their operations in violence-affected districts of Manipur in order to bring back the state to normalcy.
Where? Ladies and gentlemen, it was stranded for over a month on Indian soil. A $110 million stealth fighter, one of the most advanced jets in the world. The British F-35B, which made an emergency landing in Thiruvananthapuram, finally took off today. After multiple failed repair attempts and the arrival of a special UK aviation team, the jet is now airbound again. Republic TV brings you exclusive visuals of the moment the Royal aircraft soared back into action.
The British F-35B stealth fighter jet, which was grounded at Thiruvananthapuram International Airport for more than a month, finally took off this morning. The powerful aircraft, valued at over $110 million, had made an emergency landing on the 14th of June due to a technical problem.
The jet has gone to the far end of the runway. It will soon be this right now, not in visibility, but in a few moments from now, we'll be able to see the jet cruising past. Yes, it is now cruising past. You can see the F-35B Lightning right now in full throttle. It is going to take off into the grey monsoon skies of Kerala. You can see these are the exclusive visuals that we are bringing in. The jet is finally taking off, a high throttle jet. The sound that is deafening, the maddening sound, the deafening sound of a sophisticated aircraft. saying goodbye to Kerala, saying goodbye to India, giving all the support rendered by the government of India and all the airport authority. Finally, the F-35B2 Lightning has gone back. It will be going to Darwin Airport in Australia, where and then eventually will join the mothership, which is the Prince of Wales.
The exact moment of the jet's takeoff was captured exclusively by Republic as the stealth fighter jet soared into the sky, ending its unexpected stay in India. Over the past 5 weeks, several efforts have been made to take the fighter jet back to its home country. The 5th generation stealth fighter is part of the UK's HMS Prince of Wales Carrier Strike Group, which is currently operating in the Indo-Pacific and recently completed a joint maritime exercise with the Indian Navy. After multiple attempts by aviation engineers, including a 21-member British personnel team flown into Kerala, the pricey Royal aircraft was relocated to a hangar. Reports suggested that the jet would be disintegrated and taken back in the majestic C-17 Globemaster. But now, after a month and week since its arrival, the F-35B is on its way home. The British High Commission has issued a statement acknowledging that the repair works undertaken by their personnel was successfully completed and that they remain thankful to the Indian authorities for extending support. From emergency landing to takeoff, the stealth fighter jet now moves on.
Coming up after a short break, President of India accepts Jagdeep Dhankar's resignation. Dhankar wrote to the President last night. It's a big victory for Yogi government. Top court directs all hotel owners along Kanwar Yatra route to display license and registration certificate.
दादी के हाथों का जादू और खुशबू से महकता घर, माँ की मुस्कुराहट और खाने की सुगंध। MDH गरम मसाला,
क्योंकि हर रिश्ता है स्वाद से जुड़ा।
केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ रे, दिल झूमे देखो मतवारा हुआ रे। केसरिया से मन जोगी हुआ।
हर पल मनाओ केसरी त्योहार। विमल, बोलो जुबान केसरी।
Maharashtra Minister Manak Rao Kokate has said he will take legal action against the opposition leaders who've defamed him by sharing a video claiming he was playing a game of rummy on his mobile phone. NCP leader Kokate has also asserted he does not even know how to play the online rummy game and said he's written to Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis and Legislative Council Chairperson Ram Shinde to investigate the video.
उसी निकला तो मैं खुद होके मुख्यमंत्री के पास नहीं, उप मुख्यमंत्री के पास नहीं, डायरेक्ट राज्यपाल के पास में जाके राजीनामा दे दूंगा। मेरा नाता है ही नहीं, मेरा अकाउंट ओपन है, मेरा मोबाइल नंबर है आपके पास में, यू कैन वेरीफाई। जो भी इंक्वायरी ऑफिसर होगा मैं उसको सप्लाई पूरा दे दूंगा उसके पास में। पूरा ब्यौरा मेरे पास जितना है, उतना जिनको लगेगा इंक्वायरी के लिए, उतना सब मैं अवेलेबल कर दूंगा। वो कोई ना कोई षड्यंत्र है और वो षड्यंत्र वो ढूंढना है, इसलिए मैं इंक्वायरी की मांग कर रहा हूँ। जो पॉलिटिकल लीडर मेरे खिलाफ में महाराष्ट्र में मेरी बदनामी कर रहे हैं, सारे पॉलिटिकल लीडर को मैं कोर्ट में खींचूंगा, अब्रू नुकसान का दावा लगाऊंगा, उसके बाद में उनके ऊपर कार्रवाई होगी।
We're taking a look at what's making headlines across the nation.
Bharat 1 Minute brought to you by Canara Bank. Together we can.
Indie leaders protested against the ongoing special intensive revision of electoral rolls in Bihar, alleging voting rights of people are being taken away. Multiple leaders, including Lok Sabha leader of opposition Rahul Gandhi, Samajwadi Party chief Akhilesh Yadav, protested against the Bihar SIR, calling for exercise to be stopped. Two miscreants allegedly involved in the Chandan Mishra murder case were injured in an encounter with Bihar Special Task Force and Bhojpur police on Tuesday. The miscreants have been identified as Balwant Kumar Singh and Ravi Ranjan Kumar Singh. They've been arrested by the Bihar police. They are currently being treated in a hospital. Police have seized 2 pistols and a magazine. Indian Air Force will retire its remaining MiG-21 fighter jets with a special farewell ceremony in September 2025. IAF has 36 MiG-21 fighter jets in its arsenal. The Russian-made its jet first entered service in India in 1963. Days after a video of a man eating fried chicken inside the ISKCON Govinda restaurant in London sparked massive outrage, the man at the centre of controversy has now issued a statement.
Few days ago, a shocking incident unfolded at ISKCON's Govinda restaurant, a well-known pure vegetarian establishment, when a British youth of African descent entered the premises and asked if they served meat. Upon being informed that the restaurant only serves vegetarian food, the man brazenly pulled out a box of chicken from KFC and proceeded to eat it inside the restaurant. After the incident sparked outrage, the man has now apologized.
My actions were ill-timed, irresponsible, and after doing my research on the restaurant, seeing that that restaurant is very predominantly dominated by Hindu people where they believe in no violence and peaceful behaviors towards animals as well as people, my actions came off as offensive towards the community, and I would like to come here and offer a heartfelt, sincere apology for my actions. I just felt like it was just needed just to say a very good, sincere apology to the people I've offended. I would also like to make a comment on this rumor that I walked inside the Hindu temple and I started apparently eating chicken in the actual Hindu temple, which is completely false. Despite me obviously being Christian faith and not believing in any other religion, I'm not the type of person to go out and start disrespecting any other religion, whether it's obviously Jewish, Hindu, Muslim. That is not me. And that is shown in this clip right now. When I realized that I was walking into the temple and I have genuinely no business there to be in such a religious place, I took myself out of the equation, apologized, and I went into the vegan restaurant where I was gonna go do my pranking. Now, if I had known that that vegan restaurant was with the temple, I would have never filmed that prank in that specific restaurant and I'd have left.
Coming up after a short break, opposition MLAs hold protest in Bihar Assembly over voter list revision row. And President of India accepts Jagdeep Dhankar's resignation. Dhankar wrote to the President late last night.
MDH की हल्दी मिर्ची धनिया करे कमाल, ये रंग दे, ये खुशबू दे, ये तीखा, ये कम पड़े, क्या निराला MDH मसाला।
ग्रेजुटी का चेक है, बस इन पैसों को हम कहीं इन्वेस्ट कर दें और रेगुलर इनकम भी आती रहे।
तो फिर फिक्स्ड इनकम म्यूचुअल फंड्स में डाल दीजिए। फिक्स्ड इनकम म्यूचुअल फंड्स चुने हुए इंटरेस्ट बेरिंग कंपनी बॉन्ड, गवर्नमेंट बॉन्ड और मनी मार्केट में पैसा डालते हैं और सिस्टमैटिक विड्रॉल प्लान के जरिए आपको ऑन द डॉट फिक्स्ड अमाउंट भी मिलती रहेगी।
म्यूचुअल फंड्स में फिक्स्ड इनकम वाली बात सही है।
म्यूचुअल फंड निवेश बाजार जोखिमों के अधीन है। योजना से जुड़े सभी दस्तावेजों को ध्यान से पढ़ें।
Asia's largest news headquarters, setting the agenda for Bharat. You're watching Republic.
Two operations conducted yesterday in Tengkai Khulan village, Mawing village and Changbong village of the Kangpokpi district in Manipur. Combined security forces recovered huge cache of arms, 37 numbers of different arms and 156 ammunition along with 4 hand grenades were also recovered by the security forces. Acting on the inputs, the security forces also conducted operation in different areas. In an operation in Imphal East, 4 active cadres of UPPK were also arrested by the security forces. The security forces also arrested 3 active cadres of KCP from Indo-Myanmar border near border pillar number 79 of Teng Nopal district. The security forces continue their operations in violence-affected districts of Manipur in order to bring back the state to normalcy.
Good afternoon. You're watching Republic TV. I am Rakshita Mishra with you. Politics is raging over Jagdeep Dhankar's exit, the sudden exit, the mystery the mystery that is surrounding it. We will give you a lowdown of what all has transpired in the past 24 to 48 hours to help you understand in what circumstances has this development happened. Let's take a quick look at the headlines first.
To fugitives from Indian law and Indian justice in the UK. These have been a matter of discussion between both sides. The case for these fugitives to be rendered to India.
India's massive push for extradition of fugitives. MEA says pushing for fugitives Nirav Modi and Vijay Mallya to be rendered to India.
जनता के कई लाख वोटरों का अगर नाम काट दोगे तो ये चलने वाला नहीं है। हम लोग चुप बैठने वाले नहीं हैं। ये आप वोटर का केवल अधिकार ही नहीं छीन रहे, उसका अस्तित्व मिटा रहे हैं।
Opposition MLAs hold protest in Bihar Assembly over voter list revision row. First batch of Apache attack helicopters reaches India. Choppers to be deployed in Jodhpur. Indian Air Force to retire MiG-21 fighter jets this September over 60 years in service. President of India accepts Jagdeep Dhankar's resignation. Dhankar wrote to President last night. And big win for Yogi Adityanath's government. Top court directs all hotel owners along the Kamar Yatra route to display license and registration certificate. We start with the news about the Business Advisory meeting. The meeting of the BSC, Business Advisory Committee of the Rajya Sabha, has been postponed for tomorrow now. This was supposed to happen at 5:30 p.m. today, viewers. But now what we are getting to know is that it has been postponed. This is the update we are getting in right now about that meeting. This BSC would have also discussed the timing of the Operation Sindoor debate. And it's an important meeting, remember. And this will happen now tomorrow. And viewers, we have Harsha joining us live in the broadcast from the Parliament. Harsha, tell us more details. What are you picking up as far as this meeting's postponement is concerned? What's behind that?
So, Rakshita, now we have gotten to know that the Rajya Sabha Business Advisory Committee meeting, which was supposed to convene at around 5:30 p.m. today to discuss on the timings of the Operation Sindoor and exactly when, exactly what the opposition demand that Prime Minister should respond on it. The final conclusion and anything discussion on the meeting is not going to happen today. Yesterday also the meeting couldn't be conclusive, and today also the meeting has been postponed for tomorrow, as we very well know that both the House of the Parliament has been adjourned for the day, and also Rajya Sabha BAC is not happening today. So we can say that the timing of the Operation Sindoor discussion in Rajya Sabha, which is the upper house of the Parliament, and also that Prime Minister is going to respond on it, or Defence Minister will be responding on it. This entire decision and discussion is yet not, has yet not happened in the Business Advisory Committee, and it will be discussed tomorrow when the meeting will happen. But tomorrow the meeting is going to happen at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, or later in the evening. These three things will be confirmed to us by the Deputy Chairman of the Rajya Sabha tomorrow only. Back to you.
Right. Thank you so much, Harsha, for joining us with those details coming in on that story. We were keeping a close eye on the developments from the Parliament there, my colleague Harsha, and we continue to get you more updates. Now, there is another news coming in from the world of aviation. After landing in Delhi from Hong Kong, an Air India aircraft has experienced a loud bang. It was heard. The loud bang was heard, and heavy smoke was seen coming out from the APU. Now, this happened after the engines were shut down at the parking bay. The ground staff noticed the smoke, and the pilots turned off the aircraft batteries as a safety measure. On inspection, engineers found serious internal damage to the APU and also damage to the aircraft's structure. And this is Hong Kong to Delhi Air India flight that, that had in fact, there was a loud bang that was heard and heavy smoke was noticed. Okay, Harsha is back with us. Harsha, tell us more what really happened on this Air India flight now.
Rakshita, this is AI315 Hong Kong to New Delhi. When this particular aircraft landed at the Delhi airport, at that time it was immediately taken to the parking area, because at the back of the aircraft there's a small engine which is called the APU, and the loud bang and the smoke coming out of that APU was seen and heard. There was loud bang which was heard by the ground staff there at the airport, and that is the reason why immediately the inspections were ordered in the aircraft, and the security ground staff was called to further ensure that there is no mishap in the area at the parking bay where the aircraft is parked right now, and also that the aircraft already came back to Delhi and it was deboarded, it was disembarked, no passenger crew and the pilots were in the aircraft. It was a parking bay, so there was no mishap happened. But yes, there was a malfunctioning in the APU of the aircraft, which led to the smoke coming out of the aircraft. Now the inspection and the maintenance of the aircraft have to be done. After that, only the aircraft can go back to Hong Kong, the one which was already supposed to take off today in the evening. Back.
Right. Right. In fact, these are multiple such cases that are, in fact, emerging, and there's no end to it. Harsha, what we are now learning about, this is a technical snag that has hit Air India flight as well. And now there is this heavy smoke that has been noticed after the landing happened in Delhi. Now, clearly we see that the airlines industry, especially if we talk about Air India, there are persistent issues. There are issues with consistency that is happening, and it's really, really alarming, Harsha.
Yes, you rightly pointed out, Rakshita. It is really alarming because if we see there's no end to the technical faults in the aircraft of Air India, and since the time of the AI171 crash, the lot was said by the regulatory body and by Air India also during the meeting with the regulatory body DG. They stated that they are checking, spot checks are being done, each and every aircraft is being inspected, be it A320neo, be it the 320, be it 350 Airbus, and also Boeing 787 and 737 and 777. They said all inspections are going on, maintenance is happening properly every day, but each day, every day, wherever the Air India flight is taking off or while landing, some or the other technical snag is found in Air India flight. And this raises a lot of questions that what the Air India and what the regulatory body is getting from Air India, the entire report, that doesn't match from the reality which passengers and the crew members are facing on ground during landing and during takeoff. And it was yesterday, there was two back-to-back incidents in the Air India aircraft. One was Mumbai accident, and the another one was the Delhi Kolkata flight, in which there was a problem in the aircraft rudder control system. And today again with a technical snag where the loud bang and the smoke is coming out of the APU engine. Major issues are happening with the engine of Air India aircraft. And they are saying today also there was a safety entire message and release which was shared to Ministry of Civil Aviation by Air India stating that inspection has been done of the engines and the fuel system of the Air India aircraft. And just 2 hours after that report, now we are hearing that there is a snag in the APU of the small engine of this aircraft that clearly states that either Air India is not following the protocol or the maintenance sheet are not revealing the entire truth, whether maintenance is happening or not, or the log sheet are being filled just by doing the work and nothing concrete is happening on ground. So yes, they have to answer all these questions because the reality is far what is being reported by the Air India to Ministry of Civil Aviation and the regulatory body.
Right. Thanks so much, Harsha, for joining us. In fact, we have more details coming in. We will, in fact, keep a close eye on this very, very dangerous development that has been reported from this Air India flight. Heavy smoke has been noticed. A loud bang was heard. It's the third aviation incident, viewers, in 2 days concerned with the Air India, pertaining to Air India, connected with Air India. This is another international flight that has experienced this technical snag. Now, technical snag, it seems, has become a pattern. It has become a daily affair, almost daily affair, when it comes to India's aviation industry, and also especially when it comes to Air India. And these are issues that have been reported in multiple flights, thrice in 2 days now. This is another one that we are talking about right now. After landing in Delhi from Hong Kong, this Air India aircraft had experienced a loud bang and heavy smoke coming from the APU, and this happened after the engines were shut down at the parking bay. And remember, there's a lot of investigated. These engines are under lens. Shravan Sen, senior editor, joins us on the broadcast for more. Shravan, this is of course another aviation incident that we're learning about in the past 2 days. This is the third such one, and this is about an engine that stopped working. We'll try and reconnect with Shravan. The ground staff, I'll just get you more details. The ground staff had noticed this smoke because this engine had seemingly stopped working, was shut down at the parking bay, and the ground staff had noticed the smoke. Pilots then turned off the aircraft batteries as a safety measures. And when inspected, the engineers had found a serious internal damage to the APU and also damage to the aircraft. Now, Shravan Sen, senior editor, joins us on the broadcast. Shravan, tell us more about what really the APU's role is and how serious this issue is that is being reported now.
Well, in fact, as far as the APU is concerned, it is a sort of a power emergency backup that the aircraft has, which basically operates as with the use of a battery. Now, it turns out that moment after it landed in the national capital, after the flight, almost about a little over 6 hours flight from Hong Kong, is when the smoke was billowing out from the APU. That's when they had switched off the engine. That was kind of a preventive measure that was undertaken by the pilots, and thereafter what we are given to understand is that they've also carried out an engineering inspection. Following the engineering inspection, it turns out there was heavy damage as far as the APU was concerned. There was other structural damages that the aircraft had sustained. Now, what are the possible reasons? That's not really known at this point in time. A report in all likelihood will be submitted before the DGCA because this is concerning the safety of the crew members as well as the passengers. What we do not know at this point in time is that whether at all the passengers were already offloaded. That clarity hasn't really come in, but as we understand from the sequence of events, it's all, in all likelihood, all of this would have happened when the passengers were inside the aircraft. Having said that, we're waiting for an official confirmation to come in as far as the safety of the passengers are concerned and the steps that have been taken by Air India. But remember, this is the second such incident that has been reported in just about 48 hours, and that once again raises questions about the airline's maintenance protocol to begin with. We're waiting for an official statement to also come in from Air India in terms of the measures that have taken, the steps that have been taken so far.
All right, Shavan, thanks so much. We have Aviation Express Sanat Kaul also joining us on the phone line. Mr. Kaul, we have seen that how the past few days have transpired. We've seen time and again how Air India or the DGCA has tried to say that there's nothing wrong with the working of the engines, in specifically in the Air India aircraft. But another technical snag, sir. Another technical snag, the third such in the past 2 days. Now, this is about the APU. There was a smoke and a loud bang that was in fact witnessed.
Yeah. Well, I think there's a very serious issue regarding maintenance with Air India. And when Air India was privatized or sold to Tata, divested, then there was a company in the Air India group which was doing the engineering services. That was not taken over by the Tatas and or not sold to the Tatas. And as a consequently, I think there is a gap in the maintenance of Air India aircraft, and also in addition, so many aircrafts are old, like the one AI 171 which crashed in Ahmedabad was over 10 years old. So you need good maintenance for older aircrafts. And on the contrary, I think they are not having good maintenance. That is the main thing. They don't have the kind of maintenance staff, the engineers and the other people. So I think it's a serious problem. They have to face this problem and sort it out. I don't know how they'll do it. But they have Singapore Airlines. They can always request Singapore Airlines to help them out, because Singapore Airlines is a partner of Air India. So I really don't know what's happening. But it's getting very, very serious the way it's happening.
This has become a pattern now. Thank you so much, Mr. Kaul, for joining us on Republic TV with your views on this latest development, viewers. So another flight of Air India reporting an issue. This is the Hong Kong to Delhi flight. Technical snag hitting Air India. 2 days, 3 technical snags reported. Damage to aircraft structure also found. And we've seen Air India rushing to give itself clean sheet, but there is no end to such technical faults. These snags are not small, viewers. These snags are very, very dangerous. And this is a very, what we understand is that it has become a recurring issue. For the longest time, we've seen such flights being cancelled, being grounded, flying back to the airports, something happening on the runway. There has been maintenance issue that has been flagged in DGCA's report as well. And this is another Air India flight which had witnessed, there was a loud bang that was heard, and a loud bang was heard, and there was a smoke also that was billowing, which was witnessed by the ground staff on the runway. Group Captain Bajpai is joining us right now on the broadcast. Group Captain Bajpai, once again, it's an Air India aircraft. The past 3 days, 2 incidents reported. In the latest, we have this issue of smoke that was visible. And it seems that the engines had to be shut down, or they were shut down, and there was a loud bang that was heard.
Ma'am, good evening to you. This bang sound and unusual smoke is not a common thing. I am in full agreement with you that in too short a time, there are too many critical snags are appearing on the Air India aircraft. In fact, I was given to understand yesterday evening also one of the aircraft, it was a reject takeoff on account of fuel aircraft flight control problem. The rudder snag had come, caution came, and the aircraft was slow speed reject takeoff had taken place. Had the captain not noticed and the V1 speed would have crossed, then it could have been another disaster. So the Air India management, the maintenance people, ops people, and above all the flight safety people should look into it in detail. And DGCA, what they are doing, DGCA should come into action. How come every day some critical snags are appearing? What is happening in Air India? All the stakeholders should come together and improve this situation so that these things are not reported. I don't say that in aviation, if aircraft is flying, there will not be any snag. Snags will be there. But serious snag, smoke, bang noise, reject takeoff, go around, aircraft going out of the excursions are taking place. Day 4 yesterday, one aircraft at Bombay had gone out of the runway. These are not a good sign for the any air operators. How the passengers will have a faith to fly on these aircraft? This is bad. The DGCA should come heavily and check the detail. The flight safety department, ops department, and maintenance department are equally responsible and accountable and answerable to the passenger who pay such a high fare and travel on these aircraft.
Right. Group Captain Bajpai, thanks so much for joining us on Republic TV with your thoughts, viewers. So this, of course, is a recurring issue, and this is a pattern, and it's very, very dangerous. 2 days, 3 technical snags, and before that, obviously, we're just putting out this, simplifying for you what happened in the past 2 days, but it's been going on for months, viewers, and we've seen, despite what happened in Gujarat, what happened in Ahmedabad, the biggest aviation tragedy, such reports keep coming up. Such reports continue to emerge about the technical snags, and in fact, near-death scare also in several flights. We will keep a close eye on the turbulence in our aviation industry that is being witnessed. And now we shift our focus to the political turbulence. Ladies and gentlemen, it's about Jagdeep Dhankar's surprise move of tendering the resignation. He has cited health concerns regarding behind this resignation, and it has stirred up controversy. Now, the reason, however, has few takers. Even the harshest of his critics in the opposition, with whom Dhankar had frequent run-ins during his tenure, and even moved to impeach him, said that there was more to it than what meets the eye. With no official statement from either the Vice President's office or the government, the development has led to a flurry of speculations in the political circles. Now, we'll just point out for you what happened between 7 to 9 p.m. yesterday. VP Dhankar chaired a BSA meeting around 12:30 p.m. on Monday first. Then JP Nadda and Kiran Rijiju, Parliamentary Affairs Minister, attended this BAC meeting, what we know. Parliamentary committee reassembled around 4:30 p.m. in the evening. Then Nadda and Rijiju were not in the meeting. They were absent from the meeting. Now, Dhankar had expressed displeasure over minister's no-show. It did not go down well with him, Nadda and Rijiju not being there. Then he rescheduled the BAC for the 22nd of July. And Dhankar was with the Rajya Sabha MPs till 5 p.m. And he also had a telephonic call with Jairam Ramesh around 7:30 p.m. last evening. And 9:25 p.m. he resigns, 2 hours after he resigns as the Vice President at 9:25 p.m. on the 21st of July. That is last evening. That was a shocking development that had come in just last night. Chandrakala joins us on the broadcast. From Chandrakala, what are you picking up? Because this is very important to understand what has transpired in the past 24 hours, especially in the evening. What happened after the BSc meeting? Kiran Rijiju, JP Nadda, they skipped the meeting or they missed the meeting. We do not know their reasons. And what follows is the call with Jairam Ramesh, and then there was this shock and sudden resignation.
Well, currently we are just outside the Vice President's, the former Vice President, I would say, and of course his resignation has sparked a lot of speculation about what prompted the move, and the point that the BAC meeting, which